Can you shut the door?
Hello, everybody. It's Sunday. It's Sports Super Sunday with the Coffee with Curmudgeons crew. Yes, indeed, we are. And we've got some crazy things, some interesting things in store for you and for everyone. Right now, just to start, notice there's a kind of a new logo here. I'm Doc Normal. And then over here we have Jay-Z Sports Balls. Wait a minute. Jay-Z Sports Balls. There you go.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing?
Pretty good. You?
Good. We've got all kinds of new tech and stuff. That's kind of what we're playing around with right now. So we're giving it a shot. So we got me. We got Jay-Z Sports Balls. We got the stuff going on down here. We're going to talk Sports Sunday. It was a big Sports Sunday. But the other thing we want to do is bring in none other than Jason Allen. Hopefully this works. Jason Allen, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Did you see how
I
that
feel
worked,
that
man?
I've been kind of misled about this. Doc told me, listen, we're going to do a show on underwater basket weaving. And I was like, yes, finally. I'm kidding.
How
JC,
exciting.
what is going on, man?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
It's going good. It's been a while since we've seen your face. We were about ready to send out, posters, put you on the back of milk cartons.
Hey, that sounds good. Hey, where is he, right?
Right. An Amber Alert or two.
Yeah,
That
right?
You can eat that mic. You can eat that mic. Or I can turn you up.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I can, but you can also eat the mic a little bit too.
Whatever works best.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better.
Yes. But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back with you guys and talk some sports. So, should be fun.
And this is the first time, tech-wise, that we're doing the box. See, look, we're doing the box. I gotta go this. I gotta use this hand. Look, I can't like pretend I'm like tickling your chin or
What are you doing?
picking
What are you
your
doing?
nose. But this is actually a thing we've had in store for a while, and just because the Curmudgeon crew is lazy, we just never get around to it. We got other things to do, better things to do. But anyway, notice we've got like a kind of a new, or a quick and dirty new logo thing down there, which if you look closely, or if you look at the replay closely, it's kind of reminds you of the Peachy. Remember the Peachy?
Yeah.
Anyway, so what are we going to talk about today, guys? While I sit here and hang out.
You know what? We got the NBA All-Star game. I'd like to talk about that a little bit. Big day for
that
the
just
NBA.
wrapped up.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Actually, I was watching it, and then I had to stop watching it because why? Because I was setting all this stuff up.
You were too busy. You were too busy.
I was busy.
Yeah.
I saw like Lillard hit a 3 like in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this thing's an exhibition.
Yeah. No.
This isn't like, you know what I mean?
It's meaningless. It's meaningless.
It's entirely meaningless.
Yeah, but it's still fun to watch. You know.
I thought actually, Silver.
Adam Silver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was more interesting. Like I read the synopsis of his 40-minute State of the NBA, which was like all about, that Anthony Davis thing, that's still not working out very well for the league.
No, it's not happening. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get fined $50K, but
Yeah.
I mean, that was the intro. I really read that this morning. It was he like yesterday. He was like a 40-minute. Here's how the NBA's doing.
Yeah.
We're printing money. But that's on everyone's mind, and the Anthony Davis.
Yeah, we got that to talk about. I'm excited to talk about that.
I am jumping the gun.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there anything to talk about the All-Star game?
Oh, well, Jason, you said that Team LeBron won, right?
Team LeBron won
Really?
like 178 to 160 something, and it was all offense, of course,
Wait,
no
what,
defense.
What? 170?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Only in the NBA All-Star game can you have scores like 171.
Okay, guys, I have a brilliant idea.
Okay.
Here's my idea for the All-Star, because it's a Team LeBron
Right.
and Team Giannis
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
Okay, so my idea was, it's an all-star game. They got guys dunking. They got the dunk contest, the three-point contest. Now the three-point contest was cool.
Yes.
Because it was Curry,
of course,
versus Curry.
Yeah.
Versus Curry, and
brother
and
versus
then the
brother.
unknown guy from Brooklyn.
It was the Civil War.
Yeah.
It was the brother versus brother, and apparently they had a bet of money, and Steph didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
Who won? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
It was
you, Jason?
I do. It was an unknown guy from the Brooklyn Nets.
The Nets. Yeah, it was that guy.
That guy. That one guy. That one player.
The Nets.
The Nets. No one cares about the Nets.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, come on, call in. You get 503-395, right?
5040. And I like the Nets, dude. I like the whole,
all right. Well,
I like the whole black and white Nets thing. It's cool. But this guy, I didn't know who he was. I just called him. I just called him white guy with a beard.
Okay. Sir, I want you to know, my Nets are from New Jersey.
Wow, that's right. That's old school.
I know. Well, you know how you're an old guy, and then you kind of step away, and then you come back up, and it's like, the Brooklyn Nets.
What is this?
What's the
What is
Brooklyn
this?
Nets, right? So,
Yeah.
But anyway, he won. But apparently the Currys had a bet on this, a side bet.
I don't doubt it.
And Steph got more points than Seth.
Uh-huh.
And Seth Curry of the Portland Trail Blazers.
Yes, sir.
And so Steph forgot about the bet. And when they were interviewing him, all the reporters reminded him of the bet. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, I can't remember what it was. And they were like, no, Seth said it was going to be this, this, and this, and this. And he goes, oh, thanks for the reminder.
Now,
it was literally, that was the interview. It was hilarious.
Now, do you remember how much it was, though?
I don't know. There weren't any details.
Okay.
But then they said, well, since you forgot about it, are you going to collect on it? And he goes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not like it matters
funny.
because they make millions.
It might have, here's the thing, it might have gone to charity.
Yeah.
Because, the part of the thing, the story is they're in Charlotte. And their father was a Hornet.
Yep.
And it's a big family affair for the Currys. So the whole family reunion. So Steph is there, Seth is there, the father, I can't remember their dad's name. Here's another thing. Did you guys see this? Their mom,
Yeah.
the Curry, Steph and Seth's mom.
Right.
They threw out, when they did this opening it was in a gymnasium that's named after the family, and it's for kids. And so they opened up this big gymnasium down in Charlotte for youth, right? And it's named after them. So they did a thing, and they were at half court, and the mom did a underhand half court, sunk the ball.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, and they had Steph mic'd on a headset, and he was squealing because his mom got a half court shot.
Yeah.
Like at this big opening event. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. I saw these. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun if you were like down there and hanging out and doing that whole charity thing.
I remember. I think part of the bet, right, aside from the money, is the winner got free dinners for a year whenever they got together. So I guess Seth owes old Steph a year's worth of dinners when they get together.
Holy moly.
That's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
It's not like sports dudes don't eat a lot,
Yeah.
Right?
So now, what is the mom dunking? What does that tell you?
No, it wasn't dunking. It was a half court shot.
Oh, it was a half court shot.
It was a full half court shot.
Okay.
In the gymnasium.
It was a behind the back windmill jam.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's what she'll be doing next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, she did like an underhand, a kind of like a bowling ball.
Yeah, bowling
underhand,
ball form.
and it just sunk it. It was like, okay. So you're like thinking to yourself, there's a reason why there's a reason why Steph Curry is Steph Curry. I mean, it's like, and then you know what else happened, Jason? Charlie Daniels came out and started, Devil went down to Charlotte.
Looking for a ball to steal.
Looking for a ball to steal. I'll make a deal with you. Made a deal with the Curry family. Gonna sink all those 3-pointers.
I bet you made it look easy, man. But what does that tell you? Family full of athletes, ladies and gentlemen. Family full of athletes.
Well, the mom apparently was a volleyball player. So, sporty
now,
person.
Did she play basketball too? I bet she did.
Maybe, but I think her sport was volleyball.
Okay. Mainly volleyball, maybe basketball.
Yeah, like college or whatever, at a level, right?
Okay.
Usually sports people kind of
hang out. It runs in the family. Yeah, it runs in the family. They all hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, go watch the video. It's really funny.
Okay, and now...
all you do is, like, you see it, like, he's under the basket, and it's like, oh, my God! And I think they were, like... they were kind of trading up. They were it was like the family.
Yeah.
Who knows? It was like, I don't know, but it should have been like Game of Horse or something like that,
Yeah.
It probably wasn't, but that's what it should be. That's the thing. Okay, guys, that's the other thing I want at All-Star Weekend. The official NBA All-Star Game of Horse.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yes.
Of course it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who would win it every year? Probably Steph Curry, Klay Thompson,
Everyone,
Kevin Durant.
You know, who knows? I mean, guys would go outside. Guys would go half court.
Yeah.
Guys would do some slamma-jamma thing that you'd have to do.
Yeah.
Well, you know who the players would consist of is the Warriors starting five. That's who the players would consist of.
You know, forget about it. Let's just throw the rule book out.
Yeah.
Like have every NBA team just do a massive game of horse.
That's awesome.
For the finals.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh, you got an H.
Or what about like a Turduncan game, NBA Turduncan game? So it's a long game instead of horse, pig.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, takes longer. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was thinking. This is what popped in my head.
Yeah.
It's like all-star horse. You know,
Right.
but
knowing the unpredictability of that, the winner of that is probably either going to be Curry's mom or the white guy with a beard from Brooklyn.
Yeah, what is that guy's name?
I don't know. It's like Joe something. I want to say like Joe Walton, but I don't think so.
Joe Walton.
It's not. Who won the 3-point contest? I'll tell you who it was.
Yeah.
Hey,
Joe Harris.
Joe Harris.
Yep.
Yeah.
That name sounds familiar. Did he play for the Blazers at one point?
I don't know.
Don't think so.
Don't think so. Okay. Yeah. Probably not.
But anyway, yes, it would be a big, massive game of horse.
Yeah.
And then free agent trade Parcheesi or something. I don't know. You know, it'd be like, ooh, duh. Like, ooh.
Make it interesting. Yeah.
You are going to the Lakers. After all.
Anthony Davis. Yeah, you're going to the Lakers. Yeah.
Crap sport.
Throw in Kyrie Irving in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would be it.
Yeah.
Like big crap table or whatever. Whoever wins gets to trade.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It'd be like all of a sudden the second half of the season, you're like, I don't even know what team this is anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Vegas bets would just be going crazy. All right, we got the Lakers winning the championship this year.
Yeah.
Kyrie, Anthony Davis, LeBron. Hey,
Right.
they're winning the championship this year for sure.
You know what, Jason? You know what's good?
Yeah.
It's good that the crazy pants curmudgeon DNA is still alive and well right here, right now. You know, crazy ideas.
And while you guys were talking, I thought of another event that they could do in the All-Star game. Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
It'll be the NBA Agent Confidence Course Challenge. Okay. All agents of all the top players, they've got to run this confidence course. We got to do all this crazy stuff, right?
Yes.
And the winner gets to be the agent of one of the top prospects coming out in the college draft. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's
Because
perfect.
those guys will set themselves on fire in order to, ooh, Zion, I'm gonna, Zion, I will literally cut my finger off,
And the final, the end of that will be the final. Is they'll have Tom what's his name? Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And Cuba Gooding Jr. And they'll stand out in the middle of the court and go, "Show me the money! Show me the money!" Right? Right? Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I get that
Help
right?
me,
Yes.
you.
What?
Like, help me help you.
Yes. Anyway.
Go ahead.
I will say this. I celebrated the NBA All-Star thing by watching highlights. Because whatever. But there is a movie on Netflix right now that just dropped by Steven Soderbergh, he's a great director and does a lot of cool stuff.
Right.
And I guess he produced it and directed it. But it's all about it's written small movie, but it's about a NBA lockout.
Right.
And the rookie, it's really a good movie.
Okay.
Really, really good. I should look it up.
Netflix, you said, yes?
It's on Netflix right now. Like, it just came out. So if you like I don't watch a lot of sports movies, but if you actually like that, or just, it was a good movie.
Right.
And it was like all these agents like stabbing each other in the back and everything. It was pretty cool.
That's cool. I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah, you got to check it out. You'll like it.
Yeah.
And the acting was really good, and
nice.
Now, you mentioned something about the lockout. Does that have anything to do with the lockout, that NBA lockout that happened a few years ago, or
no? The movie is set.
It's a fictional a lockout.
Oh,
right,
okay.
during a
okay.
lockout.
Okay, all right, I understand.
So it's like that's the setting, and there's a rookie who's and it's kind of affecting him and his agent's down on his luck.
Yeah.
And it's got a bunch of cameos in it.
Okay.
Too, and I can't remember. The one I remember is Zachary Quinto plays the main agent's boss.
Don't know who that is.
The new Star Trek movies that J.J. Abrams did. He was Spock.
Okay.
That guy.
Okay.
He's a good actor.
Spock. Okay.
Even outside of just being new Spock, but I should find that.
And I believe he also got his start on that NBC show Heroes.
Yes, he did.
Heroes, yeah. I remember watching that from 2006, 2007 with my dad.
He was on Heroes. I watched a couple.
You're making me feel old, man. Yeah, I remember watching that back in 2006 with my grandpa. Yep.
I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have said that. I'm so sorry.
It's all good, man.
The name of the movie is called High Flying Bird.
High Flying Bird.
High Flying Bird
Okay.
on Netflix. Steven Soderbergh movie, directed, written by. It's good. It's good. It was actually, if you at any point tire in Captain Underpants and his CGI hammers and whatever.
Yeah.
You can actually watch a drama or a dramedy.
Is it a Netflix original? Because I know
I think so.
Netflix makes a whole bunch of originals.
Yeah, I believe it's original.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have to check that out.
That's where all the good stuff is going.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, wow, that was a whole aside. So what else? So you had any more commentary on the
NBA All-Star game? Yeah. So I wanted to ask you guys. I'm not sure how this works. Is it how they formed the rosters? Right? Is it the captains that handpick the team members?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you guys think about that?
There's
the fans vote for the starters, right?
Right.
Okay.
They also vote for alternatives, but the team captains then they have that pool to pick from the people that have already been voted in, and they get their teams that way.
Okay. Now, how do you guys think about that? Do you think it still gives the fans leeway to vote for who they want, or the freedom to vote who they want, or do you think that's taken too much away from the fans having the ability to
I don't know if it really makes that much of a difference.
Yeah.
I think semantics wise, it's just trying to spice it up a little bit and get more people
to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, when did it used to be? It's only been a few years since it always used to be East versus West.
Yeah, no, it just recently changed
Yeah.
to team captain name and then team versus team captain name.
What was it last year? It was LeBron
And Steph. LeBron and Steph, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and this year it was LeBron and Giannis.
Yeah, because LeBron was still in the East, so of course, he's team captain, and I think it was Team Steph. Yeah.
You know what other big news that came out of again, it was all Adam Silver going, that preview trade stuff isn't quite working out. They gamed the system. So it was Adele Demps, the GM. I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
The GM at the Pelicans got fired at the end of the week too.
Oh boy.
Well, because
they had.
I think that's his name. They had
Will Demps. Yeah.
Which one? Yeah.
Will Demps.
Yeah. And they had someone like a GM, off the record comment on it. And it's like, yeah, he screwed that up. And it was basically, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't,
right.
So it was like, the whole thing about it was that if they would have caved in to the whole Lakers thing, it would have sent a message to all the agents to go, oh, cool, we'll just play this game against the GMs.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's like, well, how come you didn't build your team better around? I mean, he sounded like he was in a bad position.
Mm-hmm.
But it gave this article gave a lot of context to why they were so hard about that situation, because it's like as soon as you open the floodgates, then every agent, and then the whole thing is LeBron. It's the same agent, right?
Mm-hmm. Rich Paul.
Yeah,
Rich Paul.
LeBron and Anthony Davis.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
so it's like, I don't know. Here's another news item, and here's another news item.
Mm-hmm.
They announced the NBA is starting an Africa League.
Oh, hey, there we
Africa
go.
Continent League.
Yeah.
Thought that was interesting, and it was what I thought was interesting is in the article, President Obama tweeted about it. He had retweeted it and said, "This is really great. This is going to be good." And I thought, oh, how interesting that Obama would be retweeting. No, I mean he's a big basketball fan. He's got a history with it. He's Obama. I get that, but still, I'm like, And then I saw a little note somewhere where it was like, President Obama is going to be involved in this, and I thought, and you know, when I saw that retweet, my little brain gears started going, honorary chairman of the league. You know, I mean, this is what former presidents do.
Mm-hmm.
You know
how they spend their time. Yeah.
Hey, Doc, I have some breaking news here.
There you go.
Breaking news. Donald Trump has just tweeted that he thinks that the African League was born in Kenya.
Okay, well. Mr. Political.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me the one bit.
Well, you threw it on us. I just figured I would toss a little lighthearted. That would be the only one, though.
I would just say, I just saw it on the headlines, and it reminded me. So that's cool. I mean, it was...
Hey, now they have a NBA EuroLeague, right? They already have an NBA EuroLeague.
Yeah, they have kind of an affiliated league. Yeah.
Okay.
Do they? Is there? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I just. Oh yeah, here it is. NBA, FIBA, and President Obama partner to form Basketball Africa League. So I mean, like I said, I knew it's that typical. And I thought, well, he's not going to actually do real work.
Yeah.
Like be the actual commissioner, but chairman, honorary chairman.
He's going to have a hand in it and a say. And
FIBA is an African league, I think.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Yes.
So, but I mean, we've had several stars.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah. Actually,
I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Mutombo has something to do with this too. Like they were like he's gonna get involved.
Yeah.
Dikembe.
Also, there's a whole lot of them that are in the developmental stage that are playing either in the European League or others.
Right.
I believe they're just trying to get that developmental league centered in Africa. That way these guys can stay there and generate income for their local communities and so forth, rather than going off to the Greek League and making, $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year and have not even any of the money really help those communities where the players come from. And I think it's kind of cool that they're doing that because I mean there is a rising tide of African-born players now getting to the point where they are playing now in the league, and I think it's just very smart by the NBA to do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I love the expansion. It's great. It's great for the league. It gains interest, and that's great. That's great.
You see where I'm just all about the NBA insider business. I'm not even thinking about it. But the other thing that came out with his Adam Silver's State of the NBA and this thing isn't working was they asked him how many times has the NFL asked you
to be commissioner,
to jump over and be commissioner, and he's like,
no, I don't want to talk about it.
No, thank you.
No, thanks. No.
I don't think he would do that.
No, I don't think so either. No. No. I mean the mess that the NFL's in right now. I don't think so. He's in a good spot right now.
I think you could replace the current NFL commissioner with an eggplant from the produce department.
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I wrong about that? I mean, that's just my impression.
It's possible. Yes, it's possible.
I heard that the R&D department for the NBA was going to create a commissioner. It's called the Commishbot.
Yeah. Commishbot.
And it's going to have a little metallic tie and stuff. Because you're right. I mean, if you're Adam Silver, you ain't going to go over to the quagmire that is known as the NFL owners meetings and have to deal between that and the NFLPA, the Players Association.
Right.
I mean, the NBA at this point, with the league stability they have, is it's by far way more peaceful. You ain't gonna want to come over to the NFL and have that sort of crud.
Yeah, no, Silver's in a great position. Yeah, no, why would you want to leave and go into a dumpster fire, right?
Well,
Right.
I mean, if you want to shift the subject, I have a question for you guys. Well, aside from Kaepernick, which the big weekend news is Kaepernick settled with the NFL, right? Right.
Yep.
But aside from that, the big NFL issue is the helmet issue.
Yeah.
Is the concussion issue.
Collision
right?
issue. Yeah.
And I don't know. That's more like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, gun to your head kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is because my philosophy, I guess, has always been that football is not a contact sport. Football is a collision sport.
Right.
And there are certain inherent risks that you take, and I'm not saying that pro or con wise. I'm just saying it is it is what it is. I think that issue in itself will be helped by technology. As technology advances, cool innovations will come to make things more safer. But on the other hand, it's still a collision sport, and I mean, bad stuff happens.
Right.
As we've seen, throughout the history and especially the last couple of years. And so I guess the answer is there really is no answer. You can just try to minimize it as best as you can.
Yeah. No, if there is no solution, do you think that football could be faded out and become non-existent? I mean, do you think it'll just become too dangerous in too many cases of CTE? I mean, what you're thinking?
No, I don't think so, because you have the popularity of like the UFC, which is physically kind of brutal,
Yeah, that's true.
So I could see, though, the influence of the NFL, especially over the next 20 years, start to wane a little bit. I could see kind of a oncoming of sports like, what we call soccer, what the rest of the world calls football,
Right.
Because you can see the growth of MLS just over the arc over the past 5-6 years has been tremendous. And I mean, it may get to the point where some of those bigger players over in Europe, they maybe start to get a little intrigued by the idea. Pull a Beckham, right? Come over to America and make lots of money. And if you're in the American press, you get to live in New York City and have all what comes with that. So I can see a little bit of the waning. Well, I think what's really going to dictate is money.
Money.
I mean, obviously, money dictates everything. Do the contracts, like baseball and other, price themselves start to get out of hand, where you see, more lockouts, strikes, yada yada yada? And I don't know, but at least for the next 5 or 7 years, I see NFL still being king, but I see an ascendancy of other sports.
Right. Hey, let me just throw this at you. What would you think of professional flag football?
I personally, I don't have a problem with it. Now, in the old days, like the caveman that I am, 10 years ago, I would have said, come on, you can't do that. It's flag football. No, but I think flag football does take a little more elusive skills. Rather than just running over people, you have to kind of be a little more elusive and strategize a little bit better. I could see that.
Yeah.
Although I don't think it'll be much in popularity
No.
in tandem with the NFL, but I could see it.
Yeah. Possibility. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not that big of a on that, but it's hard for me to see NFL football going away. I mean,
Right.
There's just too many fans out there.
Yeah.
I mean, and how does this affect college football?
That's true.
I mean, don't you have the same issues?
No, I've always considered college football its own beast.
Yeah.
Alabama's, the Clemson's.
But I'm talking about CT in
the
specific
risk.
to the risk. CT.
Sure. But I think it'll be drowned out because, I mean, the fanaticism of college football is deeper than it is at the pro level.
Now, is it maybe just because, like, if those guys don't necessarily go pro, they pretty much aren't getting the constant exposure
Right.
Yeah.
to the head injuries. Is that kind of a thinking there?
I think so, and I think it's also just because college football has been around so much longer than the pro football, NFL, that I think it's more ingrained in the American psyche than even the NFL is. And I mean, if you go to Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I mean, there are fans, and then there are fans,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't see college football going anywhere. And
No.
also, too many kids that would never get a class education are getting a chance to live out their dreams, not only play football but also get an education.
How were the ratings of the Super Bowl this year?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't imagine too high.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, just because it was so boring. I mean, last year's NFL at a Super Bowl was great.
Right.
But this year's, it took them...
It sucked.
Yeah, it took them, a half?
Sucked.
I can't remember. It was so long ago, guys. I can't remember how long it took them to score, but sheesh. I don't think it was that popular. I mean, I would have watched something else rather than the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it also didn't help with the old halftime show.
Yeah, what did you think about that?
Oh, I thought it was a train wreck. I mean, they could have they should have come out with like I don't know, anything at like a third tier casino out of the Midwest probably would have been better.
Yeah, right.
So according to USA Today, this year's Super Bowl drew the lowest ratings in over a decade.
Yeah.
But then there's that tells us basically nothing about anything beyond the fact that really football remains the one thing that can bring us together as a culture. Oh, God, give me a break.
Yeah.
This is USA Today. But I mean, it's like over a decade. And CBS, they got that stupid streaming service, and they're trying real hard.
Right. But I have real strong feelings about this year's Super Bowl. And it's not nice. I think the reason why the ratings were low is because there's partial Brady fatigue and New England fatigue. People are they're tired of seeing New England, in the Super Bowl. And it didn't help that I call them St. Louis Rams, right? There's a dig for you.
Oh,
but the LA Rams, they literally marched out onto the field, right? They came out, full gear on, ready to go, and they took a dump right on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
It was a horrible showing. I mean, those guys, if you are an LA Ram fan and you're sitting around right now and you're actually watching this, you guys should be all over that team and be just a little bit ashamed.
Yeah. No, definitely. I don't know what you mean by I didn't catch the kickoff, right? So I don't know what you mean by taking a dump on the 50-yard line. So can you take me through that?
Because the team didn't even show up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they went out there and they laid their offense was to say it was anemic is a vast understatement. They came out and they did nothing. I mean,
yeah. Oh, I just thought you meant like they fumbled on the first drive or an interception on the first drive. I thought that's what you meant. I mean, I know they didn't score at all, but I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah, they should have. It would have been better. It would have been better action than what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I got strong feelings about this year's.
I just turned it on at the at the halftime thing. It's like, I got to turn. Sorry, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Who rarely ever turns on a game at the start. It's like, especially basketball.
Yeah.
I love basketball. That's favorite sport. But it's like, give me the third and the fourth quarter. That's where it's really
where it really gets exciting.
Where it's going to heat up.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question then, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who did you want to see in the Super Bowl? I mean, we know what two teams obviously went, but who was like you guys secretly, when the lights are off in the middle of the night and the doors closed, who did you secretly want to be there?
Okay, well, I like Tom Brady as a player, but again, you mentioned, I'm tired of seeing him winning. Like, I'm just.
So is his wife.
I'm just tired
of seeing you win.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing Brady and Belichick and the Super Bowl every year, and so I'd probably say the Chiefs. I'd probably say the Chiefs because I really wanted
Mahomes,
and I really wanted Andy Reid to solidify himself as a great NFL coach, because he is a great NFL coach. He's got a great defensive mind, and yeah. So I'd probably say the Chiefs. What about you?
Oh yeah, I think my choice would have been Chiefs out of the AFC,
Mm-hmm.
and then NFC. Either the
Saints.
Rams, because I think they would have played better against any other team against New England. But
Mm.
I'm kind of, I wouldn't have minded seeing New Orleans
Yeah, the Saints. Yeah.
because they're scrappy, and at the very least, Breeze is going to go out there and just, he's going to try to win.
Yeah. You
And
know what would have been kind of cool is to see a Brady and Breeze showdown. That would be kind of
right.
cool, don't you think?
It would have been great. I think New Orleans would have had a kind of a tough time stopping the short game of New England.
Mm.
But on the other hand, I think New England would have had fits over trying to stop, Drew Brees, Kamara, Ingram, and Tom, the passing game. I think it would have been a shootout, and I think it would have been much closer. But I think the Rams' problem is I think that McVay for the first time all year got conservative, which he never should have done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Super Bowl is a time where you let it all hang out.
That's right.
And Jared Goff, during that game he regressed over that. I mean, all year he had been playing at a pretty decent level. I mean, not great, but not enough to make you lose. And I think he just got the lights and the pressure got to him.
Yeah, he lost his confidence for sure, and the line could not block for the life of him.
Right.
They just kept on getting after him and after him.
That's interesting because if you're guys in the NFC West, or even the West, or even the league as a whole, you're now looking at their offensive line and saying, was that a fluke, or have we just figured out a way to beat the LA Rams?
Mm.
So it'll be interesting to see how they address that in the draft and then by free agency.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be interesting. Do you see Jared Goff winning a Super Bowl title in his career? I mean, he's only 22, 23, so he's got a long time. But do you see him getting a Super Bowl?
Jared Goff himself, personally, 50-50 best. Because he did well this year,
Mm-hmm.
but now he's going to be held at such a high threshold that if he comes up next year and regresses at all, the LA fans are going to be screaming murder.
Yeah, get rid of him, right? Get rid of him.
Exactly. He's in a tough position.
Yeah.
So Jared Goff, I don't know. I mean, he could end up like another Nick Foles. Of course, he could go somewhere else and do great things, like Foles did. But I don't know. I like his skill set. I mean, he is kind of like the prototypical, 2019 NFL pocket quarterback. But I don't know where his head is at this point. Especially if I'm McVay, I don't know if it's crunch time and we're down 3 points and you got to go onto that field. Do you want him or somebody else? Because you got the players like Breeze, who have been down multiple times last year, and Sean Payton just looked at him and said, "Go win it."
Yeah.
Or Seattle with Russ. When it's crunch time, Russ is going to go out there and he's going to will that team down the field and try to take it. And I don't know, and maybe I'm expecting too much out of Goff since he is such a young guy. Maybe I'm piling too much on him. But I think next year is going to, actually more than this year, is going to be kind of the crucible for him of where where his arc is as far as development as a quarterback.
Yeah, no, only time will tell. I mean, both McVay and Goff are pretty young, so they'll eventually mature. And I'd say I'm right with you on Goff winning the Super Bowl, 50-50. But yeah, they just got to let him loose. I mean, of course he went number one. What does that tell you? He's a franchise quarterback. So you just got to let him loose and run that offense.
Yeah, I mean, it's what's that line from the movie Bull Durham? $1 million arm, but a 5-cent head, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that Goff is not smart, because he is, but I mean the ability of a top. Now I won't even say elite, but I'll say the top tier quarterbacks to get out of your head and just play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be the true test of a guy like Jared Goff.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully he's up for the challenge, right?
Yeah, I want to see him.
He definitely wasn't. He definitely wasn't up for the Super Bowl, but maybe he will eventually.
Yeah, he had that deer in the headlight syndrome where he looked just lost.
Yeah.
And I don't. And at that point, the guy I'm looking at is kind of failing is McVay, because when you got a quarterback that's that way, you have to deal with it right. I mean, there is no tomorrow at that point. You have to get in Goff's head and try to get him to focus and settle down a little bit. And it didn't happen. McVay looked a little for a guy that's the guru. I mean, he picked a strange time to go totally conservative.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that'll take time. Again, he needs to mature, and yeah, hopefully, because I do agree he is a great offensive guru, and I hope the Rams keep him.
Oh yeah, they would. McVay's not going anywhere. I mean, I think this may be the best thing for Sean McVay, right?
Learning lesson.
He loses here, he takes it to heart, and then next time getting around, he learns from it.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So, but the question I want to ask you is, since we're talking about young quarterbacks,
right?
Is I'm really interested. I want to get Jay-Z's take on Kyler Murray out of Oklahoma. He kind of the wunderkind of quarterbacks coming out in this draft. I want to get your take on his intangibles, his skill set as far as his athleticism, and what obstacles he could face in the NFL.
Yeah, no, I think Kyler Murray, he's definitely got some talent, and I'll say he definitely reminds me of a scrambler, like a Johnny Manziel, right? Yeah. He's definitely got the speed and elusiveness, and he's definitely got the arm. I know you've said he's a good pocket passer. It's just I think it's his height that's keeping him back, and I don't know how much he weighs, but if he's under 200 pounds and he gets hit by one of those big 300-pound linemen, he's gonna feel it, the next day. He's definitely gonna feel it, and that can take a toll on him. So, I mean, someone's gonna take a chance on him, but it might not be top 10, not even 15, so it might be even in the second round. Who knows? But I definitely think someone's going to take a shot at him. And I think he does remind me of a Lamar Jackson a little bit. The situation where they still had Joe Flacco, right? He kind of sat on the bench for a time and kind of learned from Joe Flacco. I think that would be a good scenario for Kyler Murray to learn from a veteran and learn the ins and outs of the NFL. I think again, someone's going to take a shot at him, but he just needs to mature and probably put on a few more pounds to be able to take the big body blows from the professional NFL players. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I see him. I mean, as far as pocket, I guess my definition of the pocket passer now is a little different from the old days, like an Elway or a Dan Marino.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Kyler is more of a spread guy, but he the reason why I call him kind of a pocket guy is his base accuracy. He is accurate. And I think that overlooks and that overshadows a lot of the other negatives, such as height and stuff, because he is just so he's just so accurate.
Yeah.
And there are some people out there that have kind of made me think a little differently of him, and the fact that he is only a half an inch shorter than Russell Wilson. So it's not like a big disparity of this guy, coming in at 5'4", 135 pounds. I think that what is going to be Kyler Murray's either biggest plus or his slide is going to be the NFL Combine, because that is going to be the time where you're going to see every intangible tested, his speed, his official height, because I'm not going to say that college teams fudge on statistics like height or weight, but they do.
Yeah.
And the NFL don't. I mean, because they want the most concise information possible for scouts and yada yada. So we're gonna find out how tall he really is. But other than that, I think he'll do well in the combine. He's got the speed, he's got the agility, he's got the accuracy, so I don't see any problems there. But you're right. This is all going to be dependent on what team he goes to, because he is the type of quarterback that has to fit that team perfectly. I mean, perfectly.
Yeah.
Because you can only develop a guy like that so much within a system, because he has those freak intangibles, right?
Right.
So you're not gonna want him to go like to a pure pocket thing like New England or anything like that.
Yeah, that pro style. Yeah.
You're gonna want to put him in a system that really accentuates patas, or you're gonna end up, and I'm gonna make it a little. He's gonna end up like an RG3.
Mm-hmm.
Where he ends up and he gets Washington, and Washington just mistreats him. Has a great rookie year, but goes downhill fast because Washington refused, and I mean refused, to cater to any of that guy's abilities.
Right.
And to their detriment. And I hope the team isn't that old stick in the mud, old school team that says, no, you will conform to us. Because as you see now, when you let players do their own thing, i.e. Mahomes, good things happen.
Yeah, no, I really like that you brought that up. I think that's really important for a team to be successful, is if you're wanting to build around somebody, so highly drafted, you gotta mold your system to that player's abilities, and I think that's really important. I really like that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Kyler Murray being able to fit into a pro style offense. I think I like him more in a spread, spread and more of the tempo, kind of like what Oregon did almost with Vernon Adams, maybe.
Right.
For a time.
Yeah. You can work him into kind of a hybrid scheme, right?
Yeah.
Where you can spread the field, plus still keep kind of some of the setups that especially your interior linemen are more comfortable with, not to mention the quarterback, whatever.
Yeah.
Or running back, I mean. But you're going to have to, with a guy like Murray, you're going to have to change some base philosophies, how you run your offense. And I could see a young guy like a McVay, right, who is beholden to nothing. I mean, he takes a lot of different parts and meshes it together to make a winning team, because he styles everything after what his players can do for him.
Exactly.
And that's what he needs. The sad thing is the best coaches who could do that already have their quarterbacks. Mahomes and KC. Andy Reid is he's a quarterback whisperer, right? And he let Mahomes be kind of Mahomes, do his own thing. McVay, kind of groomed Goff a little bit and got him ready to run it. I don't know about any of those other coaches out there that can really adapt that much to kind of Kyler Murray style. But that'll be interesting, and I guess we'll see next year, right?
Yeah. No. So where do you think he? As far as like draft number, where do you think he goes? Where do you think he slides down to? Because I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I think the top QB right now is probably Dwayne Haskins. He's got that height. He's got the weight, strong arm. He's mobile. Yep. So where do you think that Kyler Murray goes?
I see Murray going. If he goes first round, I see him going mid to late.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will not go before 14. And he could go mid to late, because some team either may want to move up just to get him, or if not, he could slide all the way to the top of the second round.
Yeah.
I really think, as I kind of alluded to it before, I think the telltale in this is going to be the combine.
The combine, yeah.
Everyone's going to wait to see what this guy does, what his height is, his intangibles, maybe if he has a pro day or two to kind of reassure any of those scouts that are seriously looking at him that, hey, I'm the guy that you want to invest, the franchise into.
Yeah, no, you go 110% at the combine. You gotta show your skills. So since we're talking about QBs, let's talk about Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I'd really like to talk about that because that's definitely important for the Duck season. I'm glad he's staying, just because I'm a diehard Oregon Ducks fan. But that's really important going into the season.
Yeah.
Now, where do you see him going? Because I know that Tua Tagovailoa from Alabama, he'll be a junior, I think, this year, so he'll probably enter. And then Trevor Lawrence, the guy who beat Alabama as a freshman, right, had a great game, and I think he might have won the MVP, if I'm not mistaken, the offensive MVP, but I could be wrong. He'll probably be going to the draft. So where do you see Justin Herbert going?
Out of any quarterback, and I mean all the biggies, right? That have the potential coming out next year. I think it is Herbert that is going to dictate his future.
Yeah.
You know where you're going to get into Tua's proven himself, especially in big game situations, that he can deliver. Herbert has all the intangibles. He is like Goff is. I mean, he is the 2019 prototype NFL quarterback. He's got the height, he's got the arm, he's got the brain, he's got the footwork, he's got everything.
Yeah.
The question is, I mean, remember last year at the beginning of the year when they were just starting the season, and Herbert came out like a man on fire.
Exactly.
And even guys like Kuiper and McShay, they had him going #1 overall if he came out in this draft. But as the season went along, I kind of use the word regressed. I don't think he regressed. I think he was just playing somewhat hurt and conservative.
Yeah. No, I too think that he was hurt for a time during the season. It definitely looked like he wasn't 100%, especially during the Washington State game, and then games after that. But he eventually, I think he got to, I'd say, close to 100%.
Right.
But no, this is key for the Ducks season, and I'm excited. Because I think that if he delivers, 100%. Then that's really going to dictate the Duck season.
I totally agree. I can't agree more. Again, we can talk about the change of defensive coordinators, which is going to have a big impact on Oregon this next year. Also, I love the fact that the running game is maturing. I think the running game is going to be much more solid next year. You saw flashes of it this year, but because of the youth and inexperience, kind of hobbled them a little bit. And I think the defense is going to be much better next year, especially with that steal of a commit.
Yeah.
I see good things for Oregon. Unfortunately for Herbert, it's going to be all on his shoulders. But I think the kid is, and I say the word kid loosely. I mean, he's a man now.
Yeah.
But I think that he is mature enough within his own head and mature enough within the system that I think he can handle it.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're talking about Kayvon Thibodeau as part of the recruiting class, right? Yeah, no, that was a steal. The thing I'm worried about this season is the offensive play calling this year, because that was a big story this year, is they didn't really let Justin Herbert loose. They didn't really throw it downfield 30, 40 yards where Justin Herbert is able to. And I think time will tell. Again, Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator for the Ducks, he's great, and he's a great recruiter, and he is a great offensive coordinator. He's got a lot of potential, and I see a lot of bright things coming from him. But I think he just needs help to be able to let Justin Herbert go and let him go 100%. I don't think being conservative with Justin Herbert is the right thing to do during the season, because that will hurt them if that's what they choose to do. So
I cannot agree more. Justin Herbert is a Mercedes-Benz, and you let a Mercedes-Benz be a Mercedes-Benz.
Yes, sir.
He's the guy with all the intangibles. You're right. But I think a large part of last year, Arroyo was. I think he was learning himself, and I don't want to give him an out by saying, he's just learning. He's going to be much better next year. But I think that he will, though, have matured a little bit. And I think that, if you have the tools and you have Herbert in his last year, it's for at least for Herbert and that class, it's now or never.
Yeah, it's now or never. You gotta make the last season while having Herbert, special, right? You gotta really just rip it during the season,
Yeah, you got to develop your wide receivers more. You've got to rely on your tight end a lot more, and you have got to commit to that running game.
Exactly.
Let those kids pound because they showed brilliant flashes last year, and now with another year under their belt, I only see things doing better for the Ducks, and it is at such a crucial time because there are some teams out there now in the Pac-12 that are going to be much more dangerous next year.
Yes.
Much more dangerous. I mean, you got everyone from Herm Edwards down at Arizona State, who's kind of turned that program around. And then you've got, of course, the mainstays, Peterson up in Washington. But you've also got Chip Kelly down in UCLA, who started out horrible. But as the season progressed, kind of was, because you could tell, I mean, obviously his style and team needs time. Because it's such the mechanics and intricacies of that offense, you just need time to get it right.
Yes.
And by the end of last year, when they started clicking and games were much closer and they were starting to win, I sat there, especially in their last game, and I said to myself, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, we're in trouble, aren't we?
Yeah, because Chip's not a dumb guy.
Yeah, no, he will deliver. He will deliver, and I like that you mentioned that it takes time to really adjust, because I think Chip needs time to bring in his own players,
Exactly right.
to fit what he wants to do. But yeah, we are definitely, in trouble. I wanted to point out is that you bring up Herm Edwards, right?
Yeah.
Is that he did a really good job, and he's really turning that program around. Well, people thought, well, hey, why bring in Herm Edwards? He was kind of that, scratch your head type of hire. Why'd you bring in Herm Edwards? He's kind of a weird guy. Well, no, he did pretty well for his first season, I'll say.
He did. And I think his personality and his teaching style is much more, and this is going to sound weird, right? So bear with me on this, is much more akin to the college game than it is to the pro. Herm Edwards is a good motivator.
Yeah.
He will get and at that age with young kids like that, you need not only teaching fundamentals, but you need motivation. The best coaches have always been the ones that light the fire, the Sable, and the guy from Clemson. Those guys, Dabo Sweeney, right?
Yeah.
Dabo, when he gets chewing nails, I mean, you want to live and die for that guy.
Exactly, and I could probably say the same thing for Mario Cristobal. The players, they love him, and yes. I even remember last year, Justin Herbert, when Willie Taggart first left from for Florida State, right? And they were about to play Boise State in the Las Vegas Bowl. Justin Herbert was like, "Yeah, we really wanted Mario Cristobal as our head coach. We love him, and we would run through a wall for him." And what does that say about the guy leading the program? He loves his players. The players loves him, and I think that's key for building a great culture. So
that's huge. It's a huge foundation for winning, because not only that, I mean, listen, if you're a 3, 4, and 5-star recruit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming out and you're seriously looking at what college you're going to do it. I mean, obviously you're going to look at the biggies. You're going to look at the Notre Dames. You're going to look at the Clemsons, and you're going to look at Alabama. Right?
Yeah, of course.
The standard bearer. But with a guy like Mario, who still has that sort of big game experience, because remember, he did come from Alabama for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he has that sort of mentality, the Nick Saban mentality. he's that guy that, he can sell you on the fact that, hey, listen, you may go to these bigger schools and you may not start for 3 years. Yeah, you may get there on your fourth year, but you come to Oregon, you will start.
Yeah.
I'll put you in there, and I could see that being very attractive because, hey, the Pac-12 is a Power Five conference, and so if you dominate in that conference, you're either gonna go to the Natty, or you're gonna go to the Rose Bowl or a higher bowl like the Fiesta or something, and that just enhances your draft prospects even more.
Exactly.
But you're right. I think the best thing about Mario is his ability to make his kids cohesive around him and believe in it. Because at that age and at that program, you got to buy in 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I just want to get your take, kind of switching gears almost. So what's your take on like this season? Would you consider this a successful season, coming from last season where you went, I think 7-5, lost in the Vegas Bowl, and you got the big wins in Washington and Cal. You got win at home against UCLA. So would you consider this a successful season?
Interesting. Yeah. Only because Mario came into just such a fluid situation, and he solidified it.
Mm-hmm.
And that went a long way towards having the year that they did have. I mean, it could have really turned into a toxic stew had things not worked right.
Right.
I mean, Herbert would have checked out mid-season, and he would have gone in the NFL draft, because why would you want to come back, to that? But because of Mario being Mario, he not only saved the program this last year,
Mm-hmm.
but he has solidified it and has saved it for the next. I mean, however long he's there, and I think that tells you a lot about the character. But yeah, I call it successful in the situation that at certain key skilled positions, very young and inexperienced, and he took it and kind of in stride and taught the kids how to play at that level.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, I will say he was successful in that. Next year, he's had his year now. I think next year is going to be another crucible year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely an important year going into year two. You got such high expectations. Of course, you've got an NFL quarterback, you've got a top 10 recruiting class, and everything, seems to be flowing at this point. So definitely high expectations, and this is definitely a key season for Mario Cristobal in year two. Now, like, what do you see in the future of the program? Like, do you see natties within half a decade, a decade? What do you see in the future of this program?
I see within the next 3 to 5 years maybe a Rose Bowl. I think that the hill to climb on this, though, because of just the other teams out there right now and where they're at, is going to make it a lot tougher than a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
With Chip coming back, with Herm Edwards, with Peterson now even more solidified at Washington, with Mike Leach up at Washington State turning that program around.
David Shaw at Stanford, yeah.
David Shaw, right? I mean, there are no, and at least in the Pac-12, and this is going to be a strong one, and I'm going to catch a lot of crap for this, but I don't see in the Pac-12 there are no cupcakes anymore.
Yeah, no days off, no days off.
Yeah, even the ones that you thought you could roll over, like the Colorados, they're not up to that level yet, but they're making strides, and that is dangerous, which is good for the conference. But if you're Mario Cristobal, it makes your job a heck of a lot tougher to get to the show, because you're always going to run into the Washingtons. We're going to see about the jury of USC.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got to bring that up in a little bit. I'd like to talk about Urban Meyer and potentially go into USC, but yeah, you're right.
And Shaw from Stanford. I mean, it is a tough row to hoe for Oregon, but I think Oregon, especially next year with Herbert coming back, I think next year is the year where Oregon can make some strides. This is the year for Oregon to win the Pac-12, at least the North, and I could see him winning the Pac-12 next year under a good, solid leadership with Herbert.
Yeah, no, you make up good points. Yeah, I like that you bring up that you can't really underestimate, your opponents. And I remember watching a video, Keith Hayward, who I think is going to be the new defensive coordinator. He says you can't underestimate anybody. Like, no. Everybody is a dangerous team. This is a dog-eat-dog world in the Pac-12, and that's a really good point. I think they preach that you can't underestimate anybody. No days off. You have to work. You have to outwork everybody 110% every day. You have to come ready to work. So,
and if I'm not mistaken, Oregon opens their season next year in a biggie.
Yeah, Auburn.
Yes. That right there is going to be a good measuring stick, because while Auburn isn't what they used to be under Chizik, obviously with the talent back then, they still are Auburn.
Yeah. No, the SEC is dangerous. Everybody's dangerous in the SEC.
Yes.
So.
Okay. So it'll be interesting. I just hope Oregon, if they don't win, I want them to be respectable, because I think that's what hurts the Pac-12 versus the other Power 5 conferences, is just when the teams go head to head. The Pac-12 just seems to come out on the short end of the stick. And if you're going to be respected, you're going to be that league or that conference where you're going to draw those kids from Texas and Florida, the 3, 4, and 5-star recruits, you're going to have to start winning those big games.
Exactly. Attract talent by winning on the field, yeah. So, what do you think about Jim Leavitt leaving, my man?
That's tough. I like Leavitt. I wish he would have stayed early on after the year. He gave signs that he wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why he did, because, if you go to a better program, or you get a chance to run your own program, that's always enticing. Oregon needs now a guy that fits the philosophy of a Leavitt, and the fact that he went out and he's recruited over his last couple of years more physical players. So
right.
You can't go back to the Aliotti faster bend don't break defense. And I'd love to see Oregon just get more aggressive.
Exactly.
Let's turn Eugene into Blitzville, right?
Yeah.
Send those guys, and that could help win games, the front four, especially when you got steals coming into town that are just going to immensely help your program. You got Jordan in the middle, who's going to be that just anchor that's going to kind of solidify your A gap. So you're going to need the guys on the ends just to really go to town on quarterbacks.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's going to be Mario Cristobal is trying to turn this program into an Alabama West, and what I mean by that is SEC physical. Get your wrap around and wrap them up as far as defense and stuff, and that's what I really like. So, they need to fill inside linebackers coach, because Jim Leavitt was both the defensive coordinator and the inside linebackers coach. So who do you think they bring in? Have you heard any names?
No. I have. Oregon has always traditionally, up to Mario and Slick Willie, they were a team that hired from within.
Yeah.
They elevated and not went outside. But I think if you're going to go outside, this is the time to do it, because you need someone who, or maybe not. If you're a position coach that was like the DB coach or whatever, and Leavitt's philosophy and where he's going with things, and especially how it translates into the players that are now going to be playing next year, you may want to think about that. But on the same course, you may want to go out and get an SEC guy that has the same philosophy, that they want to go spit nails and charge the quarterback, and that may work too. It's as with college, with pro, it's all chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. How everyone works together, and how everyone molds. So right. No, that's a great point. Hopefully they can they can bring in an SEC type of linebacker coach who's, you know,
Yeah,
who
go find yourself the young, hungry guy that wants to prove himself and give him the stage to do it.
Yeah, hell, I wouldn't mind bringing Court Dennison back, the guy who just left from Louisville, or no, to Louisville, excuse me, sorry. But no, I wouldn't mind, you know, bringing him back. He's such a great coach, and, you know, he helped bring in Kayvon Thibodeau, who's a great, you know, recruit. So I wouldn't mind bringing him back, you know, making him solely the inside linebackers coach, paying him a lot of money, and maybe even making him a co-defensive coordinator, you know, if that's what he wants.
Right, because if you can get that guy back in there, I mean, you may have to promise him a grooming position. Listen, you'll be the LB coach next year, but in a year or two, you may be the defensive coordinator, and you'll have a say in what goes on. I could see that swinging.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah, no, that would be great. You know, I've always kind of wanted this guy named Johnny Nansen from USC, who's been a long-time coach at USC. He's an inside linebackers coach and an associate head coach. Yeah. I always thought he'd be great at Oregon just because he's been in that position for so long. He can recruit. He knows the area of Southern California, so I'd really like him to come to Oregon. I mean, of course, I'd love everyone to come to Oregon, but can't always have it that way. But yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I think he probably, out of anyone on USC, is probably going to stay there because who knows what is going to be going on. But if Urban does show up in Pasadena, Urban is going to bring his own guys.
Yeah.
And so that may be a good time to reach out to him and say, listen, come on up to Eugene because we could sure use you and you'll have stability.
Yeah, exactly. And Helton's probably not going to be there, for another year. And by the way, guys, I don't like USC at all. Like I just cannot stand USC for the life of me. I just don't think that they, win on the field with the talent they bring in, and they always steal a recruit from Oregon every signing day. Like last year, the year before that, they always snag some 5-star guy from Oregon. It's always like, damn it, come on, like why you got to do this? So
it's the USC mystique, and I'm gonna peck off a bunch of people here. So buckle in there, Jay-Z.
Yes, sir.
People have got to get over that USC mystique, all right? I equate USC with the Oakland Raiders. They haven't won in 20 years. Get over it.
Yeah.
At USC, I mean, Helton, unless Helton does something which I don't think he has in him, he's gone by the third game.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so USC, I'm not worried about so much USC. But you're right. They always get the recruits, and to the life of me, I don't understand why anymore. You're living off a name that hasn't done anything in years.
Yeah. Because it's a prestigious school doesn't mean you're going to win on the football field. Oregon's probably had a better football record within the past half decade than USC has. I think, I would imagine so.
So, yeah. I mean, like I would tell USC fans is like what I'd tell Oakland Raider fans. When's the last time you got to either the Super Bowl or the Natty?
Yeah, exactly.
Heck, when was the last time they got to the Rose Bowl?
Oh, I think it was a few years ago, and they beat Penn State. But still, that's when they had Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold was pretty much the head coach, and and Clay Helton was living off that. So,
but I mean more of a pattern. I mean, you're one and done, and then you're right back into the trial the next year because your coaching is substandard.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I hope Helton stays in USC. In fact, I want him to sign a 15-year guaranteed contract that keeps him in Pasadena until the year 20 or 32 because that's a good thing for Oregon.
Yes. No. Let it keep on burning there in USC, right?
That's right, man.
Yeah.
Fight on, USC.
Everybody, Urban Meyer to USC, it's a possibility, but me and Jason, we don't want it. We hate that idea.
No, we don't want.
Stay over in, the Ohio State University. Stay over there. We don't want you in the West Coast because it's already heating up. So,
Urban scares the crap out of me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He is a proven winner, and if he goes to USC, he's going into a system that is already soft on boosters and looking the other way on violations. And so he'll fit right in there to a T, and he just gives USC that swagger back, and that is so dangerous. Can you imagine the 3, 4, and 5-star recruits that are going to be licking their chops to try to go play for Urban Meyer?
Yeah, it would be crazy. We would go back to at least Oregon would. We would go back to maybe 20th in recruiting rankings. Like I'm always looking at Oregon recruiting rankings every day. Like I always look on Oregon 24/7 to see who's interested in the Ducks, and we would probably go back to that bottom feeder type of recruiting class. So that's what I don't want. No,
yeah,
no,
I wouldn't
sir.
say bottom feeder, but I'd say just mid card level. I mean, every year you're going to be either what you'll barely scratch the 6 wins to get to a bowl.
Yeah.
And then when you go, you're going to go to some, fly-by-night bowl that's not even going to be around next year. I mean, we could have a bowl next year called the Curmudgeons Bowl.
Hey, that would be great, wouldn't it, Doc?
Yes.
Yes, it would be.
The Curmudgeons Bowl.
Yes.
Would be fantastic.
Downtown Milwaukee, Oregon.
I think Gladstone.
Oh.
No, it's got to be in Oak Grove.
Oh, yeah, Rex Putnam?
Yeah, probably.
Right there on Rothy Road.
They got a big football field. They do have a big football field.
Yeah, they do. They do. Or the Hillsborough. Is it the Hillsborough Stadium? Is that what it's called?
Sure.
Yeah.
We could move it out there. Why not?
Yeah.
And even, heck, why not do a game or two in Providence Park? Maybe the Timbers will let, the Curmudgeons take over for a day.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know about that.
We can dream. We can dream, guys.
Yeah.
We can dream.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll have those Curmudgeons, and just as we're finishing the deal to buy the Blazers.
Yeah, right. Speaking of the Blazers, guys, this is probably a good transition.
Is that a segue for you or what?
Yeah, it's a segue for me. So this representative from Oregon, he wants to change the name, the Oregon Trailblazers instead of the Portland Trailblazers. What do you guys think about that? Is that a good idea or what? I don't think so.
Good, bad, or indifferent ain't never gonna happen.
Yeah.
No. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, no team in the NBA is. Well, I guess no. But that's New York City though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
New York Knicks.
Knickerbockers.
Yeah, it's New York City.
Right.
So I mean.
Yeah. There are other teams that don't have the traditional i.e. Golden State.
Oh.
The Warriors.
Yeah. Who else? Wait, who else? That's a good.
Ooh.
Golden State is an outlier.
Yeah.
Oh, Utah.
Utah Jazz. Yeah.
Oh, see, look, my whole theory is blown.
Yeah. And now
I'm like, it's always a city, but no, Utah Jazz, Golden State.
Yeah.
Actually, Golden State, they want to change. Don't they want to change the name of Golden State?
I
thought I heard. Yeah.
Pretty sure you're right about that. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
What would they change it to? Just California Warriors or something like that? What would they change it to?
I think it was Philadelphia Warriors? What?
Yes, that makes sense. Yes, let's do it.
The Warriors are gonna move.
Let's sign away.
No, it literally. Former name Philadelphia Warriors.
Okay.
That's what it says. No, I mean it just popped up in this big thing. I can't really share it because of the way I got set up, but literally it says it's got the Golden State Warriors and it says Philadelphia Warriors.
There you go.
Warriors to keep Golden State name after move to San Francisco.
Okay.
They were first the Philadelphia Warriors from 1956 to 1962. I had no idea. I did not know that.
Neither did I.
I didn't know that. I mean, that was before my time, so I mean, I always knew them as the Golden State Warriors.
Right.
But yeah, I think because they're moving to San Francisco. Mm-hmm. So I think the idea was the San Francisco Warriors.
San Francisco Warriors, huh? Yeah. No, let's keep it to Golden State, please.
I was rooting for the. Oh gosh, now I'm bad with the joke. I was rooting for the Tenderloin Warriors.
Ooh. The Barber Coast Warriors?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, I don't see Golden State changing their name.
Yeah, no. Same with the Trailblazers, right? You guys are
Oh, yeah.
Say no?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's been such an established brand that you can't really do it.
That would be horrible.
No, I'd be devastated.
Although there is one team that needs to change their name pronto, and that is the Utah Jazz. Not the Utah part. I don't have a problem. Jazz.
Yeah, but
there's nothing jazzy about Utah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know they were originally the New Orleans Jazz, which I get, that fits, but they should have changed their name. In fact, I may go on a one-man crusade to have Utah change their name for the Jazz, because there's no Jazz. The Jazz artists don't even go to Utah.
What would you?
Way too late.
What would you change them to?
Something that's known in Utah.
Utah bigamists?
Yeah. Well, I know that.
The Fighting Mormons? I don't know.
Well, I know in Utah,
that was bad. Sorry.
It's like in the top 10 for horrible drivers. So I don't know. So maybe I don't know. Utah horrible drivers. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of lame, but
they're gonna call it Karl Malone's old team.
Yeah,
that's what it would just be.
Yeah.
Portland Trailblazers versus Karl Malone's old team.
Yeah.
Right. But we got to give it more than that. It's got to be like the first half will be Karl Malone. We'll go with the Karl Malone Stocktons.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Right? The Karl Malone Stocktons.
That fits perfectly. Yes.
And it's just a big face of Malone on the jersey.
Yeah, a big, huge face on the middle. No, the front and back of the jerseys. That would be great. Or
you could change your name to his nickname, the Mailman.
Yes.
They can see the Utah Mailman.
Oh, the Mailman. Yeah, of course. Of course it's called Utah Mailman. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, definitely.
It's got a picture, their logo is a picture of Karl Malone in a mail truck, waving out the side of the window.
Mm-hmm. There we go. Genius.
Someone in Utah, write that down as a memo.
Genius. Yeah, that's great. So what about the Portland Trailblazers beating the Golden State Warriors? Since we're, talking about NBA right now, and just before, I think it was last Wednesday, they beat the Golden State Warriors. Last Wednesday, and that was a pretty great game. Excuse me, I can't talk tonight, but
it was that too.
Yeah, it was that.
But, yeah, I equate it. It's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I equate it with the old times of when Portland would actually knock off the Lakers.
Yeah.
Under Magic Johnson and Kareem and all those guys. Woo! We took one.
Yeah.
Take that, LA. But,
yeah. No. Anytime you can get a win against the Golden State Warriors, that's a win in the books. Yes, sir. But no, everything was pretty much clicking from the get-go. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game, but I did watch the highlights, and it just seemed that everything was clicking from the start.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, of course,
the bench.
Yeah, the bench was getting going. Yeah, of course, Dame and CJ, they got it going and stuff, and they did. I'd say maybe a little more majority of the work, but hey, the bench, they chipped in quite a bit. Maurice Harkless and Al Farik, they really chipped in and they got it done. And anytime, you can get a win and against that all-star starting five, that's pretty great. And against Kevin Durant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't like Kevin Durant. We do not like Kevin Durant.
You know what statistic that I didn't realize? Who's the second all-time scorer in the NBA?
NBA.
Number two.
Who's
number one?
It's Kareem, right?
Yes.
Okay, Kareem's number one.
Do you know who number two is? I didn't know this, and I saw it recently.
I got it.
Who?
I got it.
Who is it?
Joe Harris from the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
Exactly.
Of course it is. Who else would it be, right? No,
right.
But who is it?
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone.
It is the Mailman.
The Mailman.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Karl Malone was the second all-time scorer.
He delivers very well in points.
Well, Kareem was 38,387. Karl Malone was 36,928. Then number 3, you're gonna know who that is.
That's LeBron.
No,
of course not. It's
Number 3?
yeah.
Because he tells you every time.
Jordan?
No, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, okay. All right.
33,643.
Okay, that was my next guess. I wasn't
I know.
100% sure.
Number 4.
Number 4, LeBron.
No.
Oh my god.
Number 4.
Help me out, Jason. Come on, man.
I'm just gonna say LeBron.
Okay, come on. Kareem, Karl Malone, Kobe Bryant, number 4.
John.
He played a few games. Try Michael Jordan.
Okay, all right.
32,292. Number 5.
Number 5.
I got it. Michael Jordan.
Yes. Okay. Number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Jordan is both 4 and 5. Number 5.
Joe
is...
Harris. Joe Harris.
Oh dear Lord. You can get number 5. It's real easy because he just got in number 5.
All right. Well, it's got to be
LeBron
James. Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I need to brush up on my history here.
He's like what is it? Less than 1,000 points away from Michael Jordan. So
Wow.
he'll tie that. Then the next question will he take on Kobe's number 3?
I'm sure he will. I mean, he'll probably play until he's like 45.
I hope so.
Yeah, I really hope so. Yeah.
Because I don't know.
Knowing how much the guy spends on keeping up in physical shape and stuff, he'll probably play until he's.
I just like LeBron more than I like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
As a person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. My economics teacher, a senior year in high school, his son, I think he worked for Nike, and apparently he told my economics teacher that Kobe's the nice one rather than LeBron. LeBron's kind of the asshole. And Kobe's the nice guy, but I was kind of wondering, like, that can't be true. I've always kind of visioned Kobe Bryant as kind of the jerk of the NBA. But
his reputation in the press is great. That's why his commentary and all that. But anyway, I learned recently. I'm just looking at the stats. Karl Malone is number 2.
Okay. Well, I will remember
That's why it should be the Utah Mailman.
Yeah, the Utah
Right.
Mailman.
And that sounds good.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the least they could do.
Yeah.
I know, but they're not going to do it.
No, they're not. They're going to stay the Jazz, and there's nothing jazzy about them.
You know what they're going to call the Portland Trailblazers in a couple years?
The
Seattle Supersonics.
Oh. Yes, please. No.
And every fan will be like, burn this place down. The Rose Garden will be in flames.
Yeah, I think I'll move because of that reason. I think I'll just move out of Oregon. I don't know where I'll go, but I'll move.
To finish up the Utah card, Utah is to Jazz.
Yeah.
It's like SAT question, right? Utah is to Jazz as fill in the blank because there's nothing there. They're like the Jazz Antichrist.
I know. It's when they first started and then they moved the team, but they've been there for so long that it's not going to happen. You just know them as the Utah Jazz. All the playoffs, all the Stockton Malone years and all of that. They're gonna it would be weird, but anyway.
They should change their name to the Utah Kenny G's because that's as close as the Jazz as they got.
There's one, I think, I want to say Nick Fish, who's a Portland commissioner, right?
Okay.
I think it was him. Already kind of floated the idea that city council and that would be very interested to make sure that the Portland Trailblazers stay in Portland after... They have some contract expiration or Rose Garden, but I want to say it's 20. Is it 2025 or is it
something like that? It's like 2023, 2024.
It's in there. It's like it's a few years from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course that would be and Paul Allen's sister, I think, is now in charge of his estate. So. But he was already like, it would be really bad if the Blazers left. And, of course, all eyes turned to the Paulson family.
Yeah, please don't let this
Paulson,
happen. Yeah.
His dad, which would be, make a lot of sense, especially Portland fans and all that, with the complete success that Merritt Paulson brought in with the Timbers. I mean, you know, he's proven the point. So
yes, sir.
I don't know. Who knows? That's Portland stuff.
Anything can happen. Yeah, but let's pray that it doesn't happen. So let's pray that.
No, I'm not going to say that joke again.
I think that if Portland were to leave, if the Blazers were to leave Portland, I think the whole city would spontaneously combust.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just break down. Yeah.
But then again, we got a Major League Baseball team now.
Yeah. Was that the joke?
No, that's not the joke.
Okay, well, tell the joke, man.
Do you think they're going to have an MLB team? What do you think?
I don't know. If they do, it's going to take a while.
Well, yeah, it's going to take a while.
But I could see it happening. What about you, Jason?
I could see. I mean, you got some heavy hitters behind there. You got Russ even helping out. Yeah. The one team I'm really excited though is the new expansion team for the NHL. I want them to. One of the names that they're thinking of is the Seattle Sasquatch. The second that comes into being, I'm going to become a Sasquatch fan.
Sasquatch.
I heard that. Yeah. And that's NHL, right?
NHL, yes.
Up in Seattle.
NHL team now.
See, that was always the thing too for Portland is NHL team.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Make the Winterhawks an NHL team.
Yeah.
Take the name and do it.
Successful.
Yeah.
Here forever.
Have you guys been to a Winterhawks game? I've never been.
Oh, not in years.
I've wanted to go. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's fun, and there's you know, with me it's like there's always plans and things, and then I don't know, I stubbed I had a ingrown toenail or something and I can't go. You know, I don't know.
Reasons.
I had to go to the bathroom and
just couldn't make
the game. I couldn't make it, right? Existential crisis.
Yeah.
The hockey puck reminded me of something about existence and Thomas Aquinas or something.
Right. Yeah. That's my delight. Every time I want to go to a game, Winterhawk game, I just end up in some existential crisis.
Yeah. That would always be like, hey, we can go to the Winterhawks game and the tickets are cheap. Let's go. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then it just never happened.
Right.
Blazers would happen before that. It would be like, oh, no, I actually went to a Blazer game. So the way more expensive ticket. I don't know.
Right.
Hey, you know what's pretty cool is that PSU, they give discounts for Portland Trailblazers games. So like you get, nice. I think, one of my friends, he went to a Trailblazer game, right? And he got a discount, and it was like $10. I mean, not the best seats, of course, but still, just to go to a Portland Trailblazer game for that low of price, that's pretty good. That's really good. So,
I wonder if they give out alumni breaks.
Yeah, maybe that would be pretty cool.
No, that's true.
No, but hey, you know what? The teams I want to go see next year is I've never been to a Timbers game, and it looks like so much fun.
Oh yeah.
If
you can get a ticket.
Yeah. Right, if you can get a ticket. My plan to get a ticket was I wasn't going to go the scalper route. I was just going to show up in front of there and mug somebody.
If you see, that would be like the I don't know. I just no jokes on Sunday, okay? No, what I was gonna say is if you don't get the Timbers, try to get the Thorns.
Yeah,
and the Thorns are really great to watch too, and they're like are they 2-time champion?
I believe so.
I think
you're probably right.
Yeah. Because last year the Timbers were trying to get their second championship, but they didn't. But they were in the playoff.
But the Thorns games are just as great, right?
I mean, there's a little different between men's and women's soccer, but still, we have like major league women's soccer. We have World Cup level women's soccer. So really entertaining. The stadium is great. I don't know. They're doing yet more renovation and all that. I mean, I was really down on the whole thing years ago, but then when I went there and I checked out the stadium and went to like the food cart area, and they just had really good quality stuff, and very Portland.
Sounds like a grand old time, man.
Yeah. What do you guys? I I haven't been feeling very good, so I had to take a break, which is fine because you guys talk football, and I know American football. I know squat about that. There's some soccer stuff, international.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I want
there's
to
a
get
lot
into
of
more
different.
soccer.
Well, so the big games coming up tomorrow. So they're playing the FA Cup, which is the English FA Cup with all the English teams.
Yes.
So they're going into the quarterfinals, right? So 8 teams going into the 4 winners.
Right.
So tomorrow's big game there is Chelsea versus Manchester United.
Yeah.
And we'll see who gets knocked out.
Gee, I wonder what side Doc is going to vote for.
Well, yeah.
Obviously Manchester United. No, I'm kidding.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I know who he likes.
Well, the thing is they're both, both managers are kind of, there's issues, right? They're struggling, like, who's going to come out of this on top and which manager is going to get sacked or who's all going to get sacked because they're both, they were actually, both managers kind of, I think they kind of replaced the same guy. They both replaced Jose. So, but here's the thing. Chelsea is coming off of a Premier League match last week they played Manchester City,
right,
number 1 in the Premier League.
All right,
6-0.
Oh my goodness.
I know. That was pretty. I didn't see it. I just saw the score and I was like, oh wow. Now it was. I did see a highlight. It was at Manchester City. I can't remember the name of their stadium, but yeah, they got trumped 6-0 in the Premier League.
Go Chelsea.
And no matter what you think of Chelsea or any of them, I mean, you're still talking top of the table. But that knocked Chelsea down to like 6th in the Premier League table. Man City is just, it's basically Man City and Liverpool. They're both just
powerhouses. Yeah.
But anyway, this FA Cup, both. Essentially, the story there is both Chelsea and Man United are like, hopeful. It's like we need to win and try to get something done here in the FA Cup, and get some sort of tableware, some sort of silverware to take home and go look what we got. You know? So it's both Chelsea fans and Man United fans are struggling this year, and Man City fans are just like, what's next? Oh, Champions League, let's go do that.
Bring it on, pretty much.
Yeah. And Liverpool, the same.
Right.
I was gonna. There was another. Yeah, there's some. Everyone in the Champions League are all Liverpool and Man City and Bayern. I think the big. I don't have it here, but off of memory, I think the big, one of the big Champions League matches to watch, I believe. Liverpool is playing Bayern München. So that will be a big game. Big Champions League game.
Yeah.
I'm going to look that up here, actually. I think that was the one. I mean, there's others, but, that's going to be like a ooh. Because Liverpool has... that's going to be Tuesday. So Monday you got the Chelsea Man United FA Cup, and then Tuesday you got Liverpool versus Bayern.
Hey,
so that
two
would be
big games back to back. That's pretty great.
And Man City plays on Wednesday against Schalke, but all things considered, we should know the outcome of that. Liverpool actually should win too, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, there's a few Champions Leagues, Athletic Madrid and Juventus, Lyon and Barcelona, but again, Tottenham beat Dortmund 3-0 in Champions League, so Tottenham's up in the tables. It's basically all like Man City, Tottenham, and Liverpool.
Big powerhouses,
Well, and then
those Hotspurs.
and then those other guys like Chelsea and Man United. So big story for Man United, which I pulled up breaking news, but I'll just read you the headline.
Mm.
Yep.
Saudi Arabia Crown Prince offering £3.8 billion for Manchester United.
Whoa.
That was the big headline today.
MBS.
MBS.
3.8 billion pounds.
Jeez.
That was from the Mirror and some of the other all the outlets now.
Wow.
The breaking news 5 hours ago, at least according to Market Watch, is Saudi Arabia denies Crown Prince seeks to buy Manchester United.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but MBS is sort of like good at that. Oh, no, we didn't. No. Nah, not us. Nope.
Hey, we didn't do it. No.
Yeah, no.
No.
No. Man United? Nope.
No way. Not doing it.
We don't do that. But that's for you with the calculators. 3.8 billion pounds is $4.9 billion.
I'm gonna do my Italian accent. It's a lot of dough. Okay. It's a lot of dough we're dealing with here.
But anyway, so they're denying it. They said that so the deal was there was a lot of activity and a lot of Manchester United. There's been like back and forth with Saudi Arabia, and essentially that I don't know where the confirmation of the rumor, but they were all reporting on it. So this is the new information that they are officially denying it.
Right.
They're saying they just have a business development deal, which they do. I mean, the Arabs, they've got tons of Emirates sponsors, But the interesting thing in the article was, and this was where I kind of was like, "Wow, this makes sense. Why does MBS want to buy Man United?" Is the royal family of Dubai owns Manchester City.
Oh. Okay, now. Yeah. Everything's coming together now.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, okay.
All right, makes sense.
So we'll see.
See what happens.
Like I said, I don't know if Jason, if I don't know if a denial from MBS is really something you could hang your head on.
not worth a whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that was kind of interesting business, and I think the other bit. I mean, there's other. I kind of follow the English European stuff because I think that's where all the international action, and of course, this ownership from other people, and the Man United folks is I guess an American family, but I don't know much about it. But the money pours in. It's like the NBA. There's like a lot of money, and again, I believe LeBron James owns a piece of Liverpool.
Yeah, I think he does.
And they're doing well. So
yeah,
good on him.
Well, good for him.
How about that other LeBron news this week when he said in an interview that after he retires, he wants to own an NBA team?
I think it's Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, well, imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's something that we would expect him
to do.
I
mean, Michael owns the Hornets, right?
He's part of the ownership group in Charlotte there, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the Wizards.
No, that was the last team he played for.
Oh.
Okay.
All
right.
Well, I knew he owned part or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the teams. So, yeah, I figure LeBron would do the same.
Yeah.
And Cleveland is
his home, yeah.
Definitely he has his sights on his hometown.
I mean, if he can get his hands on any team, I'm pretty sure he'd be happy, but his dream would probably be Cleveland, so.
Trailblazers!
Yeah, that would be. Yeah. Championships for the next decade. I'm kidding. I don't know about that, but
yeah, but our luck is LeBron wins. Yeah, he bought the team. Yeah, what do you mean he's moving it to Akron, Ohio? The Akron Blazers.
Yeah. Akron Blazers.
Seattle just to rub it in.
Exactly.
Oh,
come on,
LeBron.
No, he could. I don't know. He could buy it. It's not going to move it. Don't move it.
Yeah, please.
LeBron, Portland's just like Cleveland.
Please, yeah.
Like, you'll just walk out and you go, wow, it's like Cleveland, but with lots of trees.
Yeah, no, I'm home. I'm home, guys. I'm home.
We'll put. He could live in a condo in the Pearl, and we'll just put like big posters, like billboards up of like Cleveland skyline, like back here, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be Cleveland. It's like, see, just like Cleveland.
Right.
Yeah, no.
The Timbers can change their name to the Browns.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Why are they kicking around a round ball? It's NFL completely changed.
And if we get a MLB team, we can just name the Portland Indians. So. Hey.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I don't know. What do you
That
see
stuff's
about
gotta
Portland?
go.
Because I mean, there has been talk that it would be Oakland A's.
Why would they really?
Yeah, because they're having a fight with the people who own the stadium and the city itself. They want to build a new.
Oh yeah, I did read about that.
Yeah, Oakland just does not want to do it.
I've actually read and seen the mock-ups.
Yeah.
In fact, it's interesting. I read an article that jogs my memory. I read an article about the Oakland and about where they wanted to put it. They wanted to put it out in the port area, and they had the mock-ups of the stadium. And then several weeks later, I read about Portland, and they want to put the stadium, in the northwest post office area, main post office area, I believe, or maybe a little bit down further. And saw the mock-ups of that stadium, and I was like, these both look familiar. I mean, there was kind of a familiarity. But yeah, I did read that article about the Oakland not putting it, or whatever. They didn't want to do it. So
the Portland Athletics.
I don't know.
Don't we have Hey, just a question out of curiosity. Don't we have a Portland Pickles team?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Pickles, sure.
And they play out in Hillsboro.
Okay.
Right? Don't they?
No, that's the Hops.
I keep getting that wrong.
The Pickles play out in Lentz.
Yeah. And I know something about the Pickles. One of their players, and I do not know what position is. So you don't remember this. Forget. I'm not going to ask you.
Okay.
Get out of here.
All right. Yeah.
If you do, you can speak up, but you won't.
Okay, I won't. I'll just
But Jason,
stay quiet.
Yes.
Remember that TV show Star Trek?
I do remember a show called Star Trek. Yes.
You remember in the 80s, they revived the show and called it Star Trek: The Next Generation?
I remember something about that. Something about a Mr. Picard.
Yes. And did you watch the first season or two?
Sure.
And they had a blonde hair security chief?
Yes. A she.
Yes. Her name was Tasha Yar.
Yes.
And then she died on a planet and was replaced. And then she came back and did a bunch of guest star stuff in later seasons. Because she, I don't know, contract, you know how the acting thing goes. But she came back.
Yeah.
She played some other roles and whatnot. I don't want to get into the complicated science fiction thing about timelines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you following me? You know nothing of what we're talking about.
I'm just sitting and
You've
learning
never
here.
seen Star Trek: The Next Generation?
No, I have not.
Yeah, you're not a Star Trek guy.
That's okay. That's
We can
okay,
teach
guys.
you.
That's okay. And I'm
No,
just
it's
learning
not.
here.
It's not okay. Anyway, but the new series. But anyway, Tasha Yar was played by Denise Crosby.
Yes.
That's her name. Her son plays for the Portland Pickles.
Really?
Yeah. So in the summertime, if you're walking around Portland or whatever, and you walk past a blonde-haired lady, goes, God, that woman looks like Tasha Yar on Star Trek from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It is, because she comes up here and hangs out with her son and goes to the Pickles games and stuff. She talked about this on a talk show she was on a while back about like, oh yeah, I've been spending a lot of time up in Portland because my son plays on they've got this team called the Pickles. So
that's right.
What A are they?
A single A.
Single A. That's what I was gonna guess.
Yeah.
So there's single A,
Single A.
double A, triple. I mean, how did the A's work again?
Single A, double A, triple A is the one step right before the major leagues.
Oh, no kidding! Wow.
Yeah, so single A is usually for the kids fresh out of college or the
Yeah.
high schoolers who have come in
Yep.
and they're just looking to, develop it a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't know what her son's name is.
Tasha Yar.
I know. Bobby Yar.
Bobby Yar.
We'll just guess.
Bobby Yar. I could look it up, I'm sure, but and who knows if they have the same name as mom's name or whatever. I have no idea, but I just know that she's a Pickles fan. Like she has an Instagram and she'll Instagram stuff.
I love that. Yeah. Now playing center field for your Portland Pickles, number 7, Bobby Yar.
You know, the kid must be like, they probably, but they gotta have the organ, the music, right?
Yeah.
And the thing I would do immediately, I'd get hired as the Pickles DJ or whatever, right? Oh my God.
There's a hit and run.
I would get hired as the DJ, as the person who plays the dun 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 that music, right?
Yes.
They would announce him, and he would walk out on the field and would be like dun 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 dun. It would be like the complete Star Trek theme, and the dude would be like, I hate those guys up there, right? That
laugh.
We're flashing the live long and prosper.
Yeah, exactly. There's got to be a few fans at the Pickles game that do that. I'm sure that it's like, I don't want to hear about Star Trek anymore. My mom was on there for like 2 seasons. Shut up.
Sit down, Bobby Yar. You're gonna bunt next inning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got a little anecdotal thing for you guys, real quick, since we're talking about unknown baseball players, right?
Yeah.
So my progeny, he is friends with somebody, and it must have just passed me by. I don't know. He comes home one day and he informs me that his friend's uncle is Harold Reynolds, Hall of Fame baseball player Harold Reynolds.
So, yeah.
Yeah. He played for the Mariners for years.
Okay.
He's now a guy that works for the MLB Network. Hall of Fame player Harold Reynolds for Seattle. He was my son's friend. All this time, I had no idea that this guy was like literally his uncle was Harold Reynolds.
Yeah, and I met him.
And Noah met him. Oh yeah, I met Harold Reynolds. I'm like, well, did you meet Bobby Yar? I mean, can we get an autograph? Anyway. That's a story that means absolutely nothing, that kind of wrecks the flow of the show. But I had to throw it out there.
Yeah, because we're talking baseball.
Yeah.
Right. I was trying to look here. Kurt Russell.
Yes.
Portland
Mavericks.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking here. 77? No.
So he's 75, 76, maybe 77.
71 Bend, 72 Walla Walla.
Yeah.
73 El Paso, 73 Portland.
Uh-huh.
Not 77, though. 73 Portland. Portland Mavericks, 77.
Yeah. Well, his dad, Bing Russell, he was the owner of the Mavericks.
Yeah. That's, little known fact. Yeah. I just wanted to, that's always a little known fact about actor Kurt Russell, is that he played for the Portland Mavericks.
In fact, if you guys want to hear a lot of Kurt Russell stories and or anecdotal things about that, one of the guys who came on the old show, who will be there on the Resurrection show on March 7th, is Frank Peters, Oregon Hall of Fame. Was the manager of the Portland Mavericks, of course. The Netflix show Battered Bastards of Baseball.
I was just gonna say that. I just popped that up. 2014 review, the battered. So this is the Battered Bastards of Baseball. It was released at Sundance in 2014, Everyone knows Kurt Russell is one of the generation's most recognizable and badass actors. He was just in Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it 2, I think? Some might even know that he was once a professional athlete. What most people don't know, however, is that Russell's father, Bing Russell, was even more eclectic. A famous actor in his own right, the elder Russell eventually used his Hollywood fame to start an independent minor league baseball team called the Portland Mavericks. The incredible story acts as the epicenter of the battered bastard. I haven't seen this one. The Battered Bastard of Baseball, a documentary that premiered at 2014 Sundance Film Festival.
Yep.
Is that on Netflix?
It is on Netflix.
Holy crap. Guess what? Guess what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah, that's something else we gotta watch, or I gotta watch.
I'm
gonna watch that tonight.
I immediately went out and interviewed Frank Peters, who was the manager for the Mavericks. Great guy and a million stories. If you want to hear some just hair-raising stories, and I'll throw this out there: we can get them for the Curmudgeons anytime you want.
Yeah, of course. So. A lot of people we get. I mean. My buddy John, he was good friends with Frank Bonema, but Bonema passed years ago, so but he would tell stories about Bonema. Actually, I think he did on the show once.
Yeah, that awesome. Yeah, anyone who grew up in Portland knows Frank Bonema, Portland wrestling.
Portland professional wrestling, baby. Do you know any of this stuff?
Yeah,
no, you don't. You're too young.
Will you please tell me who Frank Bonema is?
Do you know what professional wrestling is? Right?
Yes, I do.
Do you ever heard of Andre the Giant?
Yes, I've heard the name. Yes.
He wrestled here. Rowdy Piper?
No, not him.
Oh, you don't know Rowdy. That's what he was a celeb. He was. I mean, they all cut over to the WWE, right?
Right.
Is that right? I always get that.
Oh yeah, Roddy went there for years.
Yeah.
WWE.
Yeah.
But he started, when he started professional wrestling, it was Portland, Oregon.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember as a kid, when Andre was here. Yeah. And he was just like, I mean, this guy like Andre the Giant. Have you ever seen The Princess Bride?
I love that movie.
You got to see it.
Okay.
You got to put that on your list.
Yeah,
it's a classic. It's a classic movie. It's funny. It's
Princess
heartwarming.
Bride?
Yes, it's yeah.
All right.
And
I bet your girlfriend's seen it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's great. It's comedy.
Yeah.
And it's kind of set in the Middle Ages, and I don't know.
Okay.
And it's a lot of comedians and stuff. And Andre the Giant is that's. I think a lot of people, if they didn't follow wrestling, got to know Andre the Giant from that movie. He did other movies and B movies because I don't know how big he was. You can look it up on.
Oh, how tall he was in real life?
He was
I think he was around 7'3".
7'3", and he was huge. He literally was a giant. He was from wherever, Serbia,
he was
Croatia.
From France.
Oh, that's right. He was French. That's right.
Okay.
He was from France.
His real name was Andre.
Yeah, I thought he was.
Last name started with a B. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was French.
Yeah, and he was a fan favorite. When he was in Portland, he was basically a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was an evil guy. I think he turned good, even in Portland, didn't he? Didn't they turn him? But he was so imagine a guy going out in the wrestling ring, this literal giant.
Just a little intimidating,
Like Andre the Giant was not deceptive marketing. It was real truth,
Yeah.
The Federal Trade Commission was not going to knock on Andre's door and say, "Prove that you're a giant." Never mind.
Yeah. Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
And those were the days where all wrestlers weren't like Hulk Hogan, the 6 foot whatever. They were small guys. So, he was picking these guys up like fleas and tossing them out into the crowd, right?
Yeah, he could pick. And that was always the thing. In fact, if you look a lot of old fans of wrestling, Portland fans, there's like photographs of him picking people up and holding kids, like large kids in their hand.
Yeah.
And it was like, take my picture. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
I bet no one wanted to get in the ring with him. Andre the Giant.
Well, wrestling has these traditions.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, you're not supposed to kill each other in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was known as kind of a light worker. He would take it easy for the guy for that size and strength. He would take it easy on people.
Could you imagine actually getting a for real body check from that guy? You'd be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you were a big wrestler dude, you'd be dead.
Yeah. You don't stand a chance against that guy.
Great story, okay?
Yeah.
So like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about over 300 pounds?
Oh, easy.
Easy, okay. All right.
And he was
370.
Yeah. I mean, he looked like a giant. He was tall, and he was built.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And muscular. He was just like a rock. I mean, it was amazing. You'd look at him and go, holy Moses, you know?
Is that even possible? Yeah.
And, you know, him being that big, he had this very deep, and for the accent, kind of a French accent.
Yeah.
Go watch The Princess Bride.
Okay.
I mean, he has lines in The Princess Bride.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't remember what character he plays, but is it him and Wallace Shawn who are the pair, or who's he paired with?
Yeah.
Is it Wallace Shawn?
Yeah, he had that little tagline, the little guy.
Yeah. Is it Wallace Shawn and they're going through?
I believe so.
It's been so long since I've seen that movie.
Cary Elwes.
Well, he's the hero.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of a Robin Hood-ish. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun movie. It's one of those cult classics.
It's a Rob Reiner movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a Rob Reiner directed movie, and it was based on a book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and we know that too because Peter Columbo is narrating the book to the Wonder Years kid. Literally, that's how it starts.
So when did this movie come out? This Princess Bride
Jason,
movie?
help me out here.
Jeez. I can do a little research right now.
Well, I can do it.
I want to say
80s.
80s?
Late 80s.
Late 80s, early 90s. 1987.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, 1987. American romantic comedy. It is a classic. It's a cult classic.
Right.
A lot of kids grew up with it. A lot of Gen X kids. And great cast. Directed and produced by Rob Reiner, Cary Elwes, Robin Wright. I forgot Robin Wright is in it.
Princess Buttercup.
Yeah, Robin Wright, young Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Chris Sarandon, Wallace Shawn.
Yep.
Okay. See, I don't know any of these names. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got an assignment to do to watch this movie.
Yeah, you did. Who did I say? I didn't say Wallace Shawn, did I?
You did. You did.
Did I say Wallace Shawn?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant. And Christopher Guest is in it, too. Isn't he like the king or something?
I think so, yeah. Remember, there's a cameo appearance by Billy Crystal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's... Adopted by William Goldman from his 1973 novel of the same name. And then, of course, it's kind of the grandpa. It basically is telling a bedtime story to his grandson. Grandson is Fred Savage, who at the time was in the TV show. You ever seen The Wonder Years? That was a show. That was a good show.
Okay, 2 assignments I have to do.
That was a good show.
Right.
Have you ever heard of Columbo?
I've heard the name.
Oh, God. It's so bad, Dan.
I apologize for being me.
Okay.
Well, Peter Falk,
Uncultured.
is the actor who played Columbo. And it was probably in the 1970s, into the 80s, actually. Columbo's, like, you would say... Like, Hercule Poirot, right, is a great detective. I can never say. You would say that Columbo is one of our great detectives. Like, he's the great American... It was a TV mystery show. And they all these shows started, like, in the early 70s as, like, specials. Like, they weren't actually even series. It was sort of like, oh, we'll have this one with this guy, Columbo, who's a lieutenant who's solving murders. And he has all these... things, and then we'll have a big fat guy named Cannon who drives around in a big Lincoln Continental and solves murders, and then we'll have this guy who was the dad on The Christmas Story. You ever seen The Christmas Story?
Yes, of course. I've seen that movie.
McGavin.
Yeah.
Okay, the dad on The Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Before he was the dad. Before he was the dad on the Christmas Story and retired and won a big major award that he put in the living room. The stocking lady lamp, right? Before he did that, he was a reporter with a fedora, and he would investigate in Chicago, right? Was it?
Yep.
Jason? And would investigate paranormal activity.
Oh.
And he had changed his name then. His name was Kolchak.
Kolchak.
The Night Stalker.
Kolchak.
Right
Some
now,
of these shows are on actually free TV.
I'm going to save you right now. Jay-Z's thinking to himself, what does this have to do with sports?
I know, but it.
Hey, no, I'm learning
he's
here.
He's got to learn, though.
Yeah.
We need to teach him. But
Jason,
anyway,
I am uncultured, man. I got to get some culture. All right.
Okay, so those are
go ahead.
great detectives, but Columbo is like a legendary detective, and he would solve every crime. So much so that once he had to go down to Mexico on a trip with Mrs. Columbo and solve the crime of Ricardo Montalban and the bull ring. That was a good episode too.
What's that one about?
Bullfighting and
okay, well, obviously,
bull rings.
but can you just elaborate?
Ricardo Montalban is a bullfighter trainer in Mexico. The great Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah, Mr. Rourke.
Con. Anyway.
Con!
Yeah, and there's shenanigans, and Columbo happens to be in Mexico, and he just takes the case. But he's a lieutenant in is it San Francisco or Los Angeles? I can't remember. San Francisco, right?
I don't know.
Or Los Angeles. I can't remember. I think it's Los Angeles. I always get the streets of San Francisco and the other one. But yeah, Columbo and his the whole thing is his famous move. Like every great detective, right?
Right.
Is famous. Like from the days of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Great detective, right?
Right. They always have a move.
Do you like detective stories?
I don't dislike them.
Jeez. Okay, but detectives use deduction and have to figure things out, right?
Yeah.
So, Kolchak's signature move, or not Kolchak, sorry. Stop that. Columbo's signature move. And I think Kolchak was famous, but everyone knows Columbo. Columbo's like top dog. Kolchak, not as known, but nonetheless really great. But Columbo's signature move was he'd ask a lot of questions, take out the notebook. He had a dirty raincoat.
Yep.
Literally a dirty raincoat. Like when I was a kid, I went to Hollywood. We actually saw one of his raincoats.
Oh, okay.
And they explained that the costumers would buy these raincoats off the rack and go take them out and put them in the mud and stuff. Quite literally would weather the raincoats for Peter Falk to wear in the TV show. It was interesting. It was like, oh, here's a Columbo raincoat.
And that was his signature move?
No. We're getting there.
Oh, okay.
He would smoke a cigar.
Uh-huh.
It's a little stubby, crappy cigar, right? Because you could do that in the 70s.
Okay.
He drove a little crappy car. I can't remember what it was. And then he would ask questions like, well, ma'am, now you said to the police officer investigator, and he'd write down the facts and everything. And he'd close his note. Well, I want to thank you very much, ma'am. Am I doing that okay?
Yep. You're doing
I want to thank you very much.
It's hand his forehead.
Very much, man. Thank you very much. And he kind of turn and go for the door.
Yeah.
And walk to the door, kind of reach for the handle. Oh,
And
I can't
then
see. Reach for, and then suddenly he just stop, reach for the handle, put his hand in the head. He turn around and go, just one more thing, ma'am.
Just one more thing.
Just one more question. He would think of that last question. That was his signature move.
Yeah.
Because he would put the suspects or the people he was interviewing off guard, right? To get the facts and run them through the facts.
Yeah.
And then he would like, okay, I'm satisfied. I don't think you did it. That's great.
Yeah.
See you later.
But then he would come back.
But then he kind of come back and move in and catch you off guard. And of course, you're a murderer. So you're like, oh, you'll mess up.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, you'll be like, no, I said it was the blue car, not the red car, right? That's what I said. And he's looking at his notes going,
Yeah.
And then he'd figure out this elaborate crime.
And his
Just by doing that.
personality, though, was so off-putting because he was like this guy that you would peg him as, you know, this kind of smallish guy with weird eyes and a soiled trench coat who sounds like he may have had one too many slugs of cough syrup that morning, you know? And so he's like, asking these questions all, you know, real demure and everything. And then he gets to the door and one more thing. And then he just eviscerates you.
Yeah.
Right.
And just, you know.
Yeah. So he solved a crime. To Columbo.
Yeah, Columbo.
Like, everybody knows. Everyone should know Columbo.
Well, next time.
Because he's like Sherlock Holmes. He's like Perot. Isn't he? Right?
Mm-hmm.
He's right up there.
Yeah.
With the greats.
Also greats, yeah.
Yeah, he's right up there with the greats. He's one of ours.
Yeah.
I just had a great idea.
What?
What we need to do is introduce a new guy into the pantheon of the detectives. How about Carl the Mailman Malone Mysteries?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't that just roll right off the tongue? You know, he comes rolling in
Who
with
are
his
you?
mail truck.
I'm
and he's ready
Carl
to...
Malone, the second all-time leading scorer in the NBA.
Right. And
Now
his
tell me,
assistant is John Stockton.
when you said to the police...
This is great.
Right. You know?
Why is this man who's asking me questions? I don't know, but he says he's the all-time second leading scorer in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right.
We should answer his questions. God forbid if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shows up.
Yeah, oh, jeez. Right. We're in trouble, yeah.
Oh, and then there would be a special with Kareem and Karl Malone, right?
Ooh, Kareem goes missing.
Yes.
They need him back by the game time, right? And it turns out the person who did it is his fellow
It's Kobe.
teammate Kurt Rambis.
Oh, there you go. It's Bill Walton.
Walton puts him in a closet.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
It's like,
I like it.
just
And
one more
it
thing,
makes sense
Bill.
that his guy that's assisting him is John Stockton because the guy has the #1 for assists.
Right.
Hey. Clever.
And the police chief would be like, hey, all that evidence you collected, what did you do with it? I gave it to Stockton, and then Stockton to Malone, and then it was Stockton to Malone.
Hey.
Stockton to Malone. Stockton to... I just give the evidence to Stockton, and he gives it to Malone.
That's great.
That's right.
Stockton to Malone.
That's right.
Just back and forth,
This is an old joke. You don't get that joke, though.
No.
You're too young for it.
Hey, man.
That was they were like the dream. They were, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was like, I don't know what Stockton's got to have big stats and assists. And all
Well,
that.
in fact, he is the #1 leader of assists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All time. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like pretty much when you have that, you know, when you have that basketball double team, two guys who are just like, it's as if they live together 24/7, right? Like the guy who's feeding the assists knows exactly where.
Great chemistry.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like Stockton knew exactly where Malone was every second of every split moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In fact, there were times that you'd be like, how in the heck did he even know he was over there?
Yeah. Kind of like LeBron James, that vision and just the know
you just
where.
know.
Yeah.
And you know the right time and when you're open and all that.
Now,
so.
Stockton is #1 in assists, right? So is it
that
even
up.
close? I mean, from
I don't
1 and
think
2.
I think he owns it by quite a bit.
Okay.
All
All-time leading assist.
time assist. Yeah, I would guess that too.
Yeah.
Jason.
Now watch me be totally wrong. He's like number 6.
Well, I thought like Magic is pretty high too.
Yeah.
Matt's pretty high too, but it's Stockton.
See, we don't have the. We gotta hit the. You gotta hit the bell when we hit the bell.
Hey-o.
Yep, #1, John Stockton.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that was a good bit. 15,806.
Yeah.
What's number 2? You probably tough to get it. It makes sense though. Number two.
What? I don't know. Is it Chicago Bulls? Someone from the Bulls?
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. 12,900.
Okay.
Magic Johnson is number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's 3 and 4?
Steve Nash is 3.
Uh-huh.
And
Nash.
Mark Jackson is number 4.
Okay.
Huh?
Here's one. I I expected him to be higher. Isaiah Thomas is 7.
Isaiah Thomas.
9,000. Not that Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah. No, I know
Detroit
who you're talking
Pistons,
about.
Yeah. And Chris Paul is number 8.
Number 8. I was gonna ask where he's at on the list.
And number 9, coming in at number 9, Gary Payton.
Ah, there you go.
Payton.
Former Oregon State.
Yep. And Seattle Supersonics. Where's LeBron?
Okay. Don't hate me. All right.
What?
All right. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna go 12.
You are one off.
1 off.
13?
No. LeBron is 11.
11. Wow.
So pretty good.
Can I
Yeah,
ring it?
you
All
can. Go ahead and ring it.
There we go.
Oh, well, yep.
That's my first ring.
Yeah, LeBron is 11. So you're 12 is actually Rod Strickland.
Strickland.
Ah, okay.
Blazer. 14 is Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins, yes.
Blazer. 15, right behind him, 15, Terry Porter.
Terry Porter. Great
Yeah.
Terry Porter.
Yeah. Ooh, 22. 22. One of my favorite players of all time. Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues.
Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah.
Is he a trailblazer or?
No, but
No.
he was a lot of small guy.
Okay.
5'6".
Oh,
Was he 5'6"?
5'6", and he could dunk.
holy moly.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was a tiny guy. He was one of the tiny guys. And 24 is Russell Westbrook. Ugh.
Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook. Yes, Russell Westbrook. And number 24 in assists.
Elmer, what comes in at 23rd?
Kevin Johnson.
Coming in at 23rd with
God,
a bullet.
Would you just love to be an announcer with that? That's Russell Westbrook. What did you say? I said Russell Westbrook.
Also, sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. He's Wascoey.
Yeah.
Let's give a big hand for your Portland Trail Blazers.
That was that? Oh no! I'm thinking of Monty Python. Never mind.
Oh,
Never mind. Anyway, so soccer.
Football.
There was a sad thing, but I don't know if we're gonna. There's this guy, I don't know if you heard about it, Emiliano Sala, who went from France, who was tied with Mbappe this year.
Yeah.
Listening, yeah.
12 goals from France, and he got Cardiff City got him. So he flew over in the plane, and the plane crashed.
Oh.
And so his funeral was today. I know, though, it's a great downer.
Rest
I
in
did want
peace.
to I did want to mention it because it was really sad soccer thing that he was literally flying. They were literally flying to Cardiff, and so it's worth a mention.
Yeah.
I know.
Of course.
But that it was bad.
It was bad.
Well, it was. I don't know.
Any news of death was bad.
UFC. You guys follow the UFC?
I don't know.
No?
No.
Do you, Jason? Really? Oh. You guys got to start following. I don't follow it that much, but apparently, was it tonight?
Yes.
They
got
Francis
highlights on
Ngannou.
ESPN.
Yeah, Francis Ngannou stops Cain Velasquez in 26 seconds.
26 seconds.
26 seconds.
Is that a record or?
I don't know.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, the last fight that I watched was probably the Pacquiao and Mayweather fight. That's the last fight.
Oh.
I mean, I know that's not
Wow.
UFC. Okay, that's boxing, but
right, the Scottish guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Against Mayweather.
Yeah. Anyway,
I can't remember.
But yes, I will have to get on that too.
Oh,
UFC. You and me, Jason, we're gonna have to watch some UFC together, man.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to bone up on our UFC stuff because.
But you gotta pay for it. It's all pay per view, right?
Yeah, pay per view.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm cheap. I mean, I would check in on the stuff, especially when Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
Finding out, I would be like, no, I want to check in on this, right? But it would be like, it's costs money, so I got to do highlights or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't you just buy the package and then we can watch it?
We'll all watch it.
Yeah, that's right.
Or, you know...
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to do that.
How expensive is it?
Oh, expensive. Just
Yeah,
real expensive enough to where I don't want to buy it.
So that's the thing I don't like about the fights.
Yeah.
I
Expensive.
mean, when I was growing up, you had the big fights. You had Howard Cosell. You had Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
That was on the ABC. Was it ABC, right? Wide World
World Sports.
I think it was. Yeah. I think it was ABC. They had all the good stuff then.
Yep, Howard Cosell.
And it would be like, you know, so it was free. You tune it in. It was perfect. All over Fraser, Muhammad Ali.
It's free.
Go to Fraser. You know.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
The big
Ali
times.
takes that one to Fraser. Fraser's stepping back. Ali. Ali takes a pump. Ali's back on the ropes. Ding ding. No, wait, you're supposed to.
Right. Ding,
Anyway.
ding,
And then they come out, and it's Frazier. Frazier's coming back at Ali. Oh, well, he takes a right hook. Anyway, it was something like that.
Yeah.
But it was free.
Yeah.
Except you had to watch commercials.
Yeah.
Like things like, look for the Union label.
Well, that's something that I
I'm
could...
just trying to make Jason laugh because he knows all this stuff. He's like, whoa.
All 70s, yeah. Or the one where the Indian is in a canoe and he starts crying. The tear comes down.
Wow. Maybe don't canoe past the GM car plant in Detroit and you'd be okay.
Or Woodsy the Owl.
Woodsy the Owl? Smokey the Bear?
Yeah, yeah, only you can prevent forest fires.
But I think, yeah. The Lincoln Continental Mark III.
Yeah,
The car that Cannon drives. You like Cannon, don't you? Then you'll like the luxury of the Lincoln Continental Mark III.
Yeah.
Phone car is optional.
Yeah. Hey, kids, William Conrad here.
Yeah.
Do you want rich Corinthian leather?
The rich, yes.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
What?
Every time I want to get a nice, thick, juicy steak and a baked potato, I get in my Lincoln Continental Mark III. It gets 6 gallons per...
Yeah.
Yeah. 6 miles to a gallon. Smoke's pouring out the back. And the Indians canoeing by, and it's like, hey, hey! The smoke's pouring out. Tear. Bunch of ladies walk up, like, with their shirts. Look for the Union label. It's okay, ladies. I buy American. Actually, they're tailored because I'm a big husky man.
Yeah.
Husky man.
Jason and Doc, jokes that land in 1974.
That's right.
It was like, what the hell are they talking about?
Hey, no, I'm learning.
You'd have to watch a lot of MeTV or Comet or whatever the as we call it, assisted living programming.
Sure.
To get the humor.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry I don't get your references.
You
but
should be.
But I'm learning.
Hey, we're huge
But anyway,
in the geriatric circuit.
But it was free, and so then HBO and all that stuff back in the day.
Tyson with HBO.
And it would be like, how much does that cost? $50 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, and I remember years ago, an apartment, and this guy was like, oh yeah, I got the big Tyson fight. We bought it. Had my buddies over. It's like, wow, that's great.
Right.
And I was like, be interested to see how it turns out, right?
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, they spent like $50, 75, or whatever they spent on those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those where Tyson is like, Tyson walks out and goes,
Yeah.
fight's over. That was great. I mean, it was like a 26-second fight.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, the value,
Right. Yeah.
the cost to value. I mean,
it's uneven. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
uneven.
it's like if you guarantee me
a 10-round fight. Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah. And
That's where you
people
get your
bleeding
calculator
and
out. It's
people's
like, wow,
ears
that's
getting gnawed
Yeah,
off.
that's what you want to see. Eyes shut completely.
Oh.
I can do it, Mick. I can do it.
I think I'll just rent the Rocky series,
Yeah.
right? I'll just go down and get the I'll go down to the video store and rent the Rocky.
Yeah, with the intense
Rocky 1, 2, and
music.
3.
That's part of what makes the
You've seen Rocky?
Of course I have.
Oh my God, really?
Yes, I have.
Seriously?
Yes.
You haven't seen anything else?
Yeah,
I don't know who Columbo is.
I'm not completely uncultured, man. I gotta catch up. I gotta brush up. You gotta teach me these things, man.
Yeah. Here's a quiz.
Oh, God.
Rocky's manager.
Mick.
Was he A, Columbo, or B, the Penguin?
The Penguin.
Yeah,
The Penguin, yes.
right. He got one, Jason.
I'm a big Batman fan, so of course I know this.
Oh, really?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
You're okay. Do we give him a pass now that he said he's a big Batman fan?
Ooh, yeah, we got to give him a pass because Adam West.
If he's a Batman fan and he knows the Penguin is Burgess Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Of course, that voice, that raspy voice.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, Burgess was a treasure.
And he used to do the quacking.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember I had this VHS and stuff. It was a Adam West VHS movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't.
Nice.
It was like.
Who's Batman?
It was Batman. Yeah, it was
Oh,
Batman.
was it one of the movies? They made.
It's where like all the villains they get together and they
Yes.
team up on Batman.
Yep.
Don't hate me. I can't remember what movie it was.
What is it called?
That's in the movie, and it
Yeah,
starts
it
out.
is. Yeah.
Remember, it starts out with the bat shark repellent.
Yes.
They're in a helicopter.
I watched that. It was on somewhere, and I watched it like a year or two ago with a friend, and it was just like when it's the sharks and the bat shark repel, you're just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yes.
And isn't that the movie where Batman's like running around with this bomb over his head and it's like dun, 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 dun,
Yes.
dun, and he's like trying to decide where to throw it, right? Is that right?
Yeah, he runs to one side of the dock, and there's a mom, walking her kid just strolling along there. He's so he runs to another part of the dock, wants to throw it over, and there's like this Boy Scout troop walking along. He can't do it. They're like, and it's like 30 seconds. The bombs, but it doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know what Jason did at Comic-Con?
What do you do?
He we were trying to get some interviews, and Burt Ward, Robin,
Yeah.
was there,
Yeah.
and his booth was there, but it was empty. And it was like, shouldn't he be around? We were looking for him because we were gonna let's interview Robin, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we were standing around waiting to see if he'd show up, and he didn't. We're like, and so Jason goes up in the booth and sits down.
Oh.
In Burt Ward's booth. It's just like, I'm Burt Ward, and people start coming up and going,
Yeah.
You're Rob. It's like, hey, it's been a few years, I know I'm not recognizable, but
Right. It's the makeup,
boy,
Hey.
that was the one where it was like, we are definitely getting kicked out of Comic-Con at this point.
Jason, if you were in the studio right now, man, I'd give you a hard fist bump, man, but you're not right now, so I'm gonna have to just do it over the computer here.
We might have
Skype.
You know what? We might have a little.
Here we go. Yeah.
That looks pretty good, actually.
Pow.
That looks pretty good. Do that again.
Pow.
Batman.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I think I might. There might be outtake video of you doing that. Oh no, or maybe it is. Is it, or is it in the edited version? Is there a clip? I don't.
No, I think it ended up on the cutting room floor
because we didn't want to piss the Comic-Con guys off, even though we did. Apparently.
Good job. Good job.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished, guys. Mission accomplished. Whatever.
Well, actually, the next year we got invited back.
Yeah.
I just didn't take him up on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
We can still go back if you want. Any year, I know the guy that's still doing it.
Oh, I thought we were. Oh, I thought we were kicked out permanently.
No.
After they saw the video, they were like, "What?"
No, actually, he enjoyed the videos.
Oh, now you tell me. Thanks, Jason.
No, sorry.
It's not like anyone put any work into those videos. No. Yeah.
Yeah. But no. I had to be Burt Ward.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyway. And that's Burt Ward played for the Portland Mavericks. Did you know that?
He was a shortstop in 1974. Yeah. Little known fact.
With Kurt Russell.
Right, with Russell.
And Adam West.
And Bobby Yar.
Yeah. Yes. Dun, 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 dun. Stop playing that music. Stop with the live long and prosper crap. My mom wasn't on the show that long. We find this guy, right? It's like, oh, they're making jokes about me playing for the Pickles and my mom.
He's just gonna end up cussing at us because he's like, "My name isn't Bobby."
I swear.
I just can imagine all these guys with the Comic-Con crowd. Oh, so do you guys like baseball? Not really. We like Star Trek, though. We really like Star Trek. Your mom was Tasha Yar on The Next Generation. Did she ever talk about that one episode where she and Data, they actually went back to his room and...
Yeah, in fact, we take over the public address system, you know?
Can I get your autograph for Tasha Yar's kid?
Here's some rustling.
Are these people supposed to be shaking?
Tasha,
Yes, exactly.
remember episode 156 when you know...
I just can imagine this kid freaking out and stomping off the I can't stop this anymore.
He's sitting
I'm
in
a baseball
the
player.
dugout, shrinking, he's like, oh, I wish I could just disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, find me somewhere to hide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dun, da, 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 da. Stop playing that music. You don't live long and prosper.
Yeah, I'll bite you.
I'm here to play baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute, guys. Who changed the name? Who spray painted out the Pickles name and put in Klingons?
Yeah, yes.
Come on.
Oh, that should be the name of our team. Come on.
The Klingons.
How could you not?
The Klingons.
The Portland Klingons.
Right.
How could you not? Hey, we're the only one that have the state representative who spoke Klingon in the...
Right.
No, we literally... Serious.
Yeah.
What was his name? Chen or whatever? I met him on a...
Yeah, he speaks fluent Klingon.
Yes, he actually delivered some sort of thing on the Senate, on the congressional floor.
Yeah.
In Klingon.
Klingon.
I have no idea. And then bad stuff happened in college, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Dun da 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 da. Boy,
We can do it.
this is what happens because that's going on and on and on and on. I can't remember. I don't know, soccer stuff, and
Yeah.
we talked about that Blazer game of the Warriors. The
Yeah.
Blazers are actually not too bad in the standings.
Well, by the end of the season, I imagine they'll be like, I mean, you never know, but they'll probably be like 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
6th, 7th, I think.
Yeah.
But you never know.
They'll squeak in, but it'll be,
Is that playoff? Is that 6, 7? Is that playoff?
Yeah, that's playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes to 8th seed.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. And who's in I think the Lakers, LeBron's Lakers, I think they're like 9th or 10th. They're not doing so good.
They're on the outside looking in. They would have to have a monster rest of the way in order to do it. I don't know.
Well, we're 4th right now.
We're 4th. Okay.
Yeah, because we've been winning. Warriors, that were Western Conference. Warriors, Nuggets, Thunder, Blazers, Rockets, which Harden's just like
carrying that team.
Yeah.
Puts him on his back.
Yeah.
Shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah, the team I've been most shocked about this year is actually the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Led by the Joker.
Good young team, and they're scrappy.
Yeah. No, they've been. Yeah. They're having an exciting year.
And I think Nikola Jokic, their center, was an all-star in the all-star game. So the Joker, they call him.
Yeah. Joker.
Bucks, Raptors, Pacers, Celtics, 76ers.
Yep.
The Nets, that's 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn.
Hornets, Pistons, 8th. Yeah.
What are the Heat? Miami Heat.
9th.
9th. Okay, so just outskirts. Yeah.
This is Wade's last go around, right?
Yeah, no, he was selected to be an all-star this year too. So
right.
His last go around.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a big.
And he's been like doing this thing all season where he like I don't know if he signs his jerseys, but he gives his jerseys away. I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Like Kobe had his farewell tour, and Wade's just been kind of giving his jerseys away. I always liked Dwayne Wade. I think he's a great guy, great player.
Yeah, class guy.
Probably top 3, 4 in shooting guards in his position. I'd say, go Michael, Kobe, and probably Wade's in there.
Yeah, he just got overshadowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bigger names, but Dwayne Wade, he heck of a player, class guy too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad because he went to Chicago, and then he was in Cleveland for a while, and then they traded him back to Miami. I think that's great.
Yeah,
ends his career in Miami. That's great. So
after this season, they're going to merge the Knicks and the Suns, call them the Washington Generals, and make them play the Harlem Globetrotters for the rest of their lives.
Right.
11 and 48 and 11 and 47.
Shoot, that's a great record.
11 and 47 is the Knicks, and 11 and 48 is the Suns.
Right.
You would think with all this uprising talent with the Suns, right? They think they'd be like,
look
7th or 8th.
Like Cavaliers are 12 and 46.
Yeah.
Thanks, LeBron.
Yeah.
The Bulls are 13th.
13th.
The Chicago Bulls. And
yep.
Yeah, that's just like, I think that was something that Silver said as well. Talked about, I think was it last playoffs, about not having like any of the major, like the Lakers or the Bulls or any of the
big programs,
in the playoff.
Yeah,
I was like,
missing something. Yeah,
well,
It's good though. I like the evolution of the game.
Too.
I like the fact that for the first time in 40 years, we're talking about the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, little change up.
Oh yeah.
Or Golden State. I mean, how many decades were they literally the whipping boy of the NBA?
Yeah. No, good point.
Well, I did have that guy. I can't remember
Chris Mullins.
And years ago they had the free throw.
Yeah.
King. I can't remember his name.
Free throw king.
Hey, with Lillard now, we'll get some respect as a expansion team.
Yeah.
The Blazers.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. What else you got? You got anything? Or are we gonna? Daytona 500. I watched the end of that. Did you watch that, Jason?
I watched a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
Again, I have the really bad knack of coming in at the very end.
Well, that's okay.
And
didn't
plus,
miss...
I had a huge amount of backlog. I had those AAF games. I had the Major League Rugby I was looking at. And then there's something else that I was going to tune into earlier.
Well, it's getting pretty late.
Well, no, it's Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
There. Yeah. He had to play like 29 holes today because of the they had to cut short his game a day or two ago.
Oh.
And so he had to play like 29 holes today, but he's
and 20
been,
of those were actually on the golf course.
Yeah, he was like tied for like 14. But within that though, the last 2 days, he has gone lights out.
Yeah.
It was weird, this flash of like 2002 Tiger Woods or 2009 Tiger Woods, right?
Yeah.
Or he is like not only birdieing, he's eagling holes.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of interesting to see. That's the only stuff I was able to watch today. Was that?
Yeah, I don't know.
So who won Daytona 500? Who got the?
Number 11.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, number 11. Yeah.
Number 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in a sec.
All right.
It was crazy.
Good job, 11.
Hamlin. Number 11
okay.
in the Toyota. Actually, geez, like all 1, 2, 3 Toyota. Wow. Hamlin, Busch, and Jones, all in the Toyota, Team Toyota. Then number 4 Ford, Logano, and 5 McDowell in the Ford. It was interesting. That it was. The thing is the race is so because I mean, toward the end, it's crack up after crack up after crack up, and it's like 5 cars or 6 cars.
Yeah.
Because they're just so close and they're bumping each other, and then they, the good thing that historically that has happened is the cars are safe.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't seen. They have like flaps and spoilers that make them go anti-aerodynamic when they crash, so they don't flip and fly and all that, which is great. And they got tons of bracing around the head and all of that. Yeah. So, but yeah, it just race kept getting stopped, and they'd roll up in the last like 20 laps. They'd wind up, and then someone would get bumped and slide a little bit and flip out and take out several cars. Yellow would go up for a while, and I don't know. I mean, even the commentators were kind of like, well, yeah, that's that. So it's like down to the last 2 laps, and like who's left, who's not cracking. Okay, 2 laps left. This has got to be the end, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't follow NASCAR, so...
I don't follow it too closely, but I do like car racing.
Yeah, fill me in. How many laps do they do usually?
Well, it's 200.
Oh, no, 500.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
500 laps?
Okay, that makes sense.
It's 200 laps.
Okay.
200 laps, I think it's like 500 miles.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
All right.
It's just like the Indy 500.
Yeah.
It's like 200 laps.
All right, now I understand.
It's like a 2.5 mile track.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, for a while there, it was like all Fords up in the top, but by the end, like they were just like it was like bumper cars, like demolition derby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was cool is a bunch of them would get cracked up, and one of the leaders, it was like NASCAR duct tape. I mean, one of the fuel lines was hanging out, and I thought, oh, God, they're even letting that guy still drive on the track. And they're like, well, it's intact. It's still there. I'm like, yeah.
He should be fine.
Go for it. Yeah. To take out the whole back panel.
Yeah.
And there's the fuel line hanging out, and they're like close up on it. And it's like, great.
They're like, is he going to be all right? Yeah, he'll be all right.
Great race coverage, too.
It's just a flesh wound. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the race coverage was phenomenal. Camera angles and everything was just top notch. I mean, that's what I like, if you're going to do that sort of thing, give me the best state of the art video as possible. And it was really exciting. I mean, they got, car cams and all that, but just really nice close-ups of things and pit. And I mean, anytime someone got cracked up or smashed up, there was a big fat close-up of it. So
God bless technology, everybody.
Yeah.
God bless.
Well, I'm just glad that they have, they've graduated into the safer cars, and they're not like killing drivers right and left like they used to.
Yeah.
They showed like a clip of like the old days, and it was like, oh my gosh.
Man, I can only imagine what
that's actual like. Steel that could wrap around your face.
Yeah.
And when they were wearing the old school like fire suits, because there was serious concern over cars catching on fire and you burning alive inside of a car.
That's the thing. I don't know how they do it. I should read up on the technology, but if you see all these, take a look at the highlights of from today. And you'll see all the crashes and the smack ups and stuff. Tons and tons of metal on the track. So tons and tons of sparks flying out everywhere, but nothing ignites.
Yeah,
0.
That's good.
Back in the old days, like Jason was saying, the crash often would end up with stuff just igniting. I mean, there used to be back when we were growing up, and guys were jumping out of cars on fire.
Yeah.
Remember that? When they'd run out with the fire extinguishers dousing a guy because the driver was...
Now, is it kind of like Ricky Bobby, when he's like on fire? Totally.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on fire.
Yeah, it really was. But you look at these crashes today, and you'll see tons of sparks.
Yeah.
Like tons of sparks.
Yeah.
The metal. I mean, it's like the whole undercarriage of the car is lit up.
Yeah, but nothing ignites, right?
But nothing ignites.
That's good.
I have no idea how they do that. I mean, like, I don't know. Do you know, Jason, at all?
I do not know. I don't know the technology behind that. It'd be interesting, though, to find out.
Yeah, I'm going to read up on that because there's some massive safety stuff. And it struck me. That struck me, Jason, as well. It's like, you know, when we were growing up back in the day, like when they played football and helmet. What's a helmet? We don't need no stinking helmets. I got a forehead. Pads. Yeah, I mean, cars would flip over, catch on fire. They'd have to run out there with big fire extinguishers.
Yeah, hose him down. Yeah,
hose him down and try to dig the guy out before he died.
Yeah,
it was like,
you know, a conversation for another day, because I know we're going to be winding.
Yeah, we got to wind it up. It's late.
When we talk about like the safety issues from now, you know, from then to now.
Oh yeah.
Everyone takes seriously the thing of concussions, right? We were talking about the helmets earlier.
That's where we started.
Back in my day, it was just called getting your bell rung.
Yeah.
And I hate to see how many concussions I had playing football. I mean, seriously, because I got quite a few of them. In fact, the last time whenever I have CAT scans, I always kind of freak out the doctors because on the very top of my head there is a little divot.
Yeah.
From some blood leakage.
Ooh.
Oh man.
You know that created that pocket. You know.
Jason, that gave me the EBGBs, man.
Yeah, it's something. But back then, I mean, you just called it getting your bell rung. You know, it was the old thing in Rocky. You know, I see 3 of them hit the one in the middle. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, nowadays you got to take it seriously because we're just learning about the problems that it leads to in later life. You know.
Well. I tend to think we knew about the problems before. We were just sort of like, you know, you know, it's like, just go home and have a cigarette and half a fifth of vodka, and you'll feel fine.
Yeah.
Have an extra steak. Get that
doctor
extra
says
protein,
take 2 of these pills. Call me in the morning.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
something like that.
Well, it's like when we're talking about like boxing and these fights, and and you know, it was like Ali and all that. It was like. You know,
he was the guy that opened a lot of eyes because just the physical reminder of how dangerous that sport was. I mean, look at all the guys that never went through boxing for years and years and never attained that sort of stardom, who probably had, you know, Parkinson's and everything that stems from it. And he was kind of a big wake-up call that, hey, wait a minute, this is, you know, something bad is going on here. We got to really think about what, you know.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah.
You know, fully retired.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember what he did in retirement, but boy, it sure seemed like he retired and then kind of little time passed and it was like kind of like.
Well, he made a comeback that one time, the final time, and the one that really led, and a lot of people think that, like boxing historians think that actually really kind of put him over
I remember that, yeah.
Was the fight against Larry Holmes when he came back, and by the 10th round, he was out on his feet, and he couldn't even throw a punch, and it's just sad to see that
I remember.
He should have never been in the ring.
When do you remember when that was?
1980.
Oh, it was 1980?
1980, yeah. He was approaching 40 years old, and they did it for bigger money. Holmes needed to fight a name, and because you know Holmes was in the shadow.
It literally was the movie Rocky.
Yeah,
almost.
He was in the shadow of Ali because he was the next champion and never got any really the recognition like the Big East got, and so they lured Ali out of retirement. To fight when he should. Yeah, I mean, doctors told him don't do it. You know, it's dangerous.
I remember that it was October 2nd, 1980.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a sad.
I remember it, and I remember now that you mentioned it. I remember how everyone was so shocked. It was like.
It was barbaric.
Yeah, and they were like. Saying, I can't believe he can take this beating, you know, and it was like,
towards the end, his motor skills had declined to the point where literally he could not lift his hands to defend himself.
Oh man, that bad. Jeez.
Well, they should have called at that point. They don't you think by today's rules they would have called?
They would have.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah. But back then, it's Ali, and you let it go, it was sad to see. That, I mean, the guy had so much pride, he wouldn't go down. And the boxers, they're taught that, right? You stay up on your feet at all points, and he's Ali, so he's got to stay on his feet, and he's got to finish the fight.
Okay.
And that alone, just, I mean, Holy cow!
I gotta tell you. Here, the headlines when you look it up.
Yeah.
The Guardian, January 6, 2007. And the headline is "The Night When Ollie Screamed in Pain."
Yeah.
Here it is. The Telegraph, 2016. Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali aged prematurely because he was too brave to know when to quit.
Jeez.
That was Larry Holmes. This is from an article in the Telegraph, June 5th, 2016.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a point towards the end of the match, right? If you look at the highlights and you go back through it,
I remember
the 9th or the 10th round that Holmes is talking to his corner and he's pleading with them. Will someone go over there and get him to stop the fight?
Yeah, you know what? I do remember that, Jason.
I don't want to hit him anymore. You know,
and the press was just like, "This is sad. This is brutal."
Yeah.
You know, this is not the way you want to. You know.
Yeah.
You wanted
and
the
what
greatest.
From Ollie?
Yeah.
He's the champion. He's going to go out on his shield. I mean, that's what he does.
But that
and
kind of makes me think of Paulo versus what was his name? Drago.
Ivan Drago.
Yeah. No, that was kind of, I think, loosely based on that stuff.
That fight, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, that was. I just like you said 1980, and it was like that blew me away that it was that. Obviously, 1980 was a long time ago, but considering that Ali started in the 60s,
yeah,
you know,
68 Olympics, his prime was 64 Olympics.
Yeah.
Because remember he boycotted Vietnam.
Yeah, and then he was
sit out a year or two, and then his heyday, the big ones between like Foreman and Norton and Frazier were like 71 through 74.
Right, yeah.
So that was out of his prime then?
Well, that was
80 is way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like his prime was in that early 70s, maybe not even the mid 70s. Just you know,
60.
I mean, he started as Olympian in the early 60s. Yeah.
I think he fought Liston in like 65.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is a boxer's career, right?
Yeah.
This isn't like hey, I've been boxing for 35 years.
I can still do it.
Yeah. Unless you're Fred Mertz. Come here.
Put him on.
I'm Fred Mertz.
Yeah.
Come here.
You got your shorts all the way up high. You're like, come on, put him on.
Exactly.
Put him up. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, 80. That's crazy. But yeah, well, you're right. Yeah. Well, on that happy note about Muhammad Ali. All right, we should get out of here. We've been way too long, but it's been fun. You guys have fun? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to come back and do a show with you guys.
If we do this next week, I will come down in studio.
Hey, nice.
All right. Well,
we'll chew the proverbial fat.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know the Jason in a box worked out really well.
Yeah, it
and we
did.
wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure the tech worked. So.
What's going on? I'm in a box. Help! Like a mime, you know.
Cue the Marcel Marceau music.
You're like, let me out.
But yeah, it technically worked out really well.
Yeah, went smooth.
So.
Like, hey guys, let me out of here.
Yeah.
Let me out.
You're just punching your way out now, Jason.
When you put your fist up that close, it turns blue, and you look like almost like Incredible Hulk or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe that's how the show ends.
Puny.
Hulk smash.
Curmudgeons, puny.
Anyway.
Any last words?
No, I've just had a great time with you guys.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Looking forward to next time.
Okay, well, we're gonna say goodbye to Jason. We'll just we'll just make him we're just gonna make him disappear.
Yeah. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Magic.
Yeah. And I will talk to you later.
Adios,
watch
guys.
this. Watch this. We'll just wave. Watch Jason disappear. Boom.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. So there we went. We made Jason disappear.
Yeah.
And we'll make this disappear. Oh wait. What the heck? Oops. I'm working on it. Oh, I made that disappear.
Yeah.
And this disappear. Say goodbye.
Adios, guys. Until next time.
All right. I gotta pull this thing up. Still working on the tech here, but that's okay. There we go. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I ready? Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, let's do it.
It's this way.